And we're on. I keep meaning to edit that bit and make it a bit shorter. Hey, you're a bit Steve from that old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to part 3 of my series, my thoughts on every episode of Star Trek. Classic Star Trek, not the new stuff. Up to Enterprise I'm doing. And we're on season 3 of the original series, which has some really good episodes in. People knock season 3 and say it's a rubbish season, but I think it's pretty good, to be completely honest. Including the first episode, which we'll get to. But before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. Join us in the chat if you're a subscriber for a certain length of time. And all that stuff. Explore the description, because there's links in there for merch, such as t-shirts like this, the USS Alcide. What else? And there's Patreon and all that stuff. Me books. Oh, it's down here. Me books. Silent Predator, short horror novella about big cats eating people in a North Yorkshire village. And Mercury Rapids, light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and stuff like that. Give them a whirl. They're on Amazon, Kindle and paperback. Wingrace says, I love Memory Alpha, but here it always freezes my computer. Well, it's a wiki thing, isn't it? And wiki things are notorious, aren't they? Because there's loads of, what they call it? Loads of ads and stuff, aren't there? That appear in them and slow your computer down. Terrible, terrible. Anyway, what we're up to? Right, we should be live on YouTube. Yes, we are. And we're live on Rumble. And we're live on Twitch. Yes, we are. Right. So, Season 3 of Star Trek, the original series. I don't think I've missed anything now, have I? Oh, aye. Super thanks and super chats. Throw some of those in my direction as well. And subscribe. We're so close to 1,000. We're so close. Like a handful of subscribers of 1,000. Anyway. That would be lovely. Right, so Season 3 of Star Trek, the original series, the final season of the original series, in live-action form, aired in 1969, and it's 24 episodes. They got shorter as the seasons went on. I think Season 1 had 30 episodes, Season 2 had 26. This one's got 24. Is that a pin on your hat, or actually part of it? Is that this part? It's sewn in. It's embroidered, an embroidered delta, an embroidered Starfleet delta. I can't remember where I got it now. I got it at a convention, I think. Yes, I did. I got it at a convention. I just saw it on a stall. This cap. I thought, I'll have that. So I got it from I can't remember which convention. One of the local ones. But anyway. Where were we? Season 3 of Star Trek, the original series. The final season. Some people say it's not the best season. Showrunning duties were taken over by Fred. Is it Freiberger or Freeberger? I don't know how to pronounce it. I say Freeberger because it sounds like he's giving out food. Fred Freeberger, who would later go on to save Space 1999. But in Star Trek, I think he did a good job. I like Season 3 of Star Trek. Anyway. Wingrace says, cool, I've been trying to find a Stargate one with an embroidered symbol on it, but I can't find one. I don't just want a printed image for a hat. No, I don't like the printed ones. I think the hats that are on the spreadshirt, on the shop, what I sell my merch with, I've not bought a hat, so I don't know, but I suspect they're printed on rather than embroidered. Anyway, but enough of that. What we're going to say? I've got a Stargate hat, by the way. I've got a Stargate Atlantis one. But it's up. It's with my cosplay stuff that's in a wardrobe in my bedroom behind loads of stuff. Here we go. They've arrived. This is why I do members only chat. Right, okie dokie. Oh, right, he's done it as Wingrace. He's sorted it out for me. Cheers, mate. Right. Where were we? Season 3. Right, we'll begin. First episode. Hang on, I've got to share it, haven't I? There we go. First episode. By the way, I'm watching these on Netflix. We're going through these on Netflix, so we're not just watching them, obviously, we'll go through them in a series of stills. But anyway, off we go. Right. Oh, steady on. What are you doing? There we go. I do like the remastered ones with the CG special effects that they've inserted. Although it does mean some of the transitions are a bit weird. Some weird dissolves and stuff. But anyway. But it is nice to see, cool stuff. Right, off we go. This is Spock's Brain. A lot of people hate this episode, say it's the worst episode ever in the history of anything. But I quite like it. I think it's quite enjoyable. Obviously they encounter a ship. There it is. And somebody appears aboard the ship. This woman. In a minute. There she is. Cool. A lovely young lady in in weird clothes. But anyway, she doesn't say a lot. She just makes everybody pass out. And when they come to, we find out that Spock's not on the bridge anymore. Oh, she does some. She feels their heads. And when the crew comes to. By the way, have you noticed the text now is blue? Oh, for God's sake. Just bear with me. Right, where were we? Text is in blue now. It's not yellow anymore. Why? No idea. Is that a Fred Freeberger decision? I have no idea. You know what I'm going to do? This is the reason why I stopped doing subscriber chats. I'm going to go and adjust it and make it members only. So if you want to become a member and call me names in the chat, then fair enough, you'll be paying for the privilege. But just bear with me while I sort this out. If my computer cooperates. I know Windgrace is helping and stuff like that, but I just don't like to see the trolls there. I don't know if you'd noticed them, but if you're in the chat. Where are we? Right, we're going to go to members only chat. Right, that'll shut them up, won't it? Right. Okie dokie, right, off we go. Do you have the original series SFX playing? No. No, it's the... See, I'm a big phony. All right, okie dokie. Right, fair enough. Thanks, Windgrace. Anyway, right, so, basically, the upshot is Spock's brain's been removed, presumably by that lady. So they've got to find a way to get it back. And they're keeping him, he's on life support. He's not dead. It's been removed super duper with advanced medical techniques. So, anyway, they find out essentially where he is. You said to pay in order to... Well, yeah, but if they're going to pay, then fair enough, do what they want, can't they? I definitely hear a bridge scan. Yes, this is playing in the background. I thought I'd have the sound on, but it's on really low. But it's still quite loud, but I thought, whatever. Bit of Atmos. Anyway, they find a planet where Spock's going. They've taken Spock. So they're going to head there. Here they are. They arrive on the planet that looks like all the other planets they land on. Anyway, so here we are. Is this where we find that I've rewatched I've rewatched season 3 in the last week, but cramming in 24 episodes, I might get a bit befuddled. But they take Spock with them. Look, they've got Spock moving about, even though there's no brain. It's ace. Stop criticising it. Anyway, they found that there's men on the surface. If it's going to show us, have I missed the primitive men? Oh, there we go. The primitive men with their look like they're from the English Civil War or something like that. But they're kind of primitive, but tall. But they go below the surface. They find an entrance, and they end up below the surface. That's where the women live. I don't know if it explains it. Does it? I don't know. But the women live there, and they're clever, even though they're not. And they just take the men, I presume, for breeding purposes, and as servants and stuff like that. It's a matriarchal society. Star Trek has always been woke, people say. Anywho, let's make sure we are still going everywhere. Wingress says TOYG Atmos instead of Dolby. I ought to copyright that, shouldn't I? Anyway, the women capture our erstwhile crew and put these Fisher-Price toys around their waists, which is some sort of control thing. Is that... I forgot his bloody name now. He just died recently. Super famous actor. Sid Haig. Is that Sid Haig? I don't know, it might not be. Could be, though. Before the rude people appeared, I was trying to say, these costumes are the future for which I am fighting. Which costumes? Oh, right, I forgot where we were up to. Anyway, the Starfleet uniforms. Anyway, so there we go. They have a fight with stunt people that look nothing like who they're supposed to be portraying. I've missed it, haven't I? Where are we? I'm sure that's Sid Haig. I meant to check and I forgot. Science will triumph, he says. Oh, they're finished fighting now. I've gone past the fight. It's over and done with in no time. Dun dun dun. Dun. Oh, for God's sake, just get on with the fight, will you? There we go. There, him. Is that Sid Haig? I'm going to look it up. Star Trek Spock's brain. We're live, I don't care. Star Trek Spock's brain. Right, IMDb. Might not even have a listing. It might not even be there. I don't know. Let's have a look. All cast and crew. No, it doesn't say. Mustn't be Sid Haig. I thought it was, though, but it mustn't be. Unless it's just uncredited. Because I think is that it might be. I don't know. Because none of the other bad guys are credited. It's all Starfleet people, apart from the main bad guys or women. So it might be. I'm going to say it's Sid Haig. I am. So there. He was in season 1, was it? I can't remember. He played First Lawgiver in Return of the Archons. Right, fair enough. Can't remember. That was 2 weeks ago. Forgotten already. But he still looks like him. I think he is. Anyway, there's Spock getting ready. Anyway, the upshot is basically the women. They're not super clever, but they're getting. It's a computer that's in control. That's giving them the knowledge to do this, and basically they needed Spock's brain to run the computer. A bit like in Babylon 5, where they need a living person in the great machine on Epsilon 3. In this one, they need in the Star Trek Enterprise, the repair facility, the alien repair facility that needs organic people, or humans or aliens or whatever, to keep that running. So something like that. So they need Spock's brain to keep the computer running. And obviously they can't have that, so I think essentially do they just blow it up or destroy it, whatever, because it's Kirk and it's Starfleet, they don't care, do they? They're just going to change these people's way of life just to get Spock's brain back. Anyway, I'm McCoy. They've got a learning thing that Spock learns how to do the surgery to put Spock's brain back in him, and then he kind of forgets. But he muddles through, and anyway, Spock is revived. And you know what? I can't remember what happens with the people. Then they just bugger off and go. Do they just leave? I don't know. I can't remember what happens to the computer afterwards. You know what? I have no idea. I can't remember. I was paying that much attention to it, but never mind. Windrest, the TNG era was so devoid of random weird the original series stuff because Kirk blew it all up. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. If they did, I can't actually remember, to be honest. It's been like, I don't know, 4 days since I watched this episode, so I've forgotten. And I'm trying to click through, see if anything stirs my memory, but it doesn't. But Spock's fine now, look. Gets back up. Looks about to do a little dance, doesn't he? But everything's tickety. But I don't think they have destroyed it. But it hasn't got his brain in it, so I don't know what they put there in its place. I presume they've just got to muddle through now, like they usually do, don't they? Like in the Apple, they destroyed Val, didn't they? So in this one, I think they've just got to muddle through and just work out how to live. I'm sure Admiral Kirk will keep a check on their progress. Because there comes an Admiral shortly after this, doesn't it? Well, a few years. So there we go. So that's the end of Spock's brain. I don't think it's as bad as everybody makes it out to be. But anyway, I think it's fine. I think it's a fine episode. I don't think it's rubbish at all. I think there's worse ones, like the Apple. And what the other one I wasn't a fan of, I've forgotten now. I moaned about it last week and I forgot what it was. I can't remember. But I'll moan about it. It popped in my head then, I've forgotten again. Never mind. They went back and stole Giant Spock's Brave, the animated series. That's why we see Giant Spock's skeleton in Lower Decks. Do you reckon is that canon now? The what was it, Infinite Vulcan? We'll get to that next week. Anyway, next up, episode 2, the Enterprise incident. This is where Kirk goes crazy, I think, and takes the Enterprise into Romulan space, defying Starfleet orders. And there we go. They get surrounded by Romulan ships, a bird of prey, and 2, because Romulans now using Klingon designs. That's what we're told. I think the truth is they just couldn't afford to make any different ships, so they just used Klingon ships. But anyway, so they're surrounded now, and we're going to do the... Anyway, so basically surrounded, and they're going to get taken aboard the Romulan ship, where we meet the Romulan commander. There she is. And she takes a liking to Spock. She does. But the upshot of this episode is it's all a ruse. Kirk hasn't gone crazy, because Kirk does his crazy thing and calls Spock names and stuff. Says, "I'll kill you, Spock," and all that stuff. You got to obey my orders, etc. Spock's pretending to be, on the Romulan side, essentially, or whatever. But obviously he's not. It's all a ruse because they want to steal the Romulan cloaking device. So I'm guessing the Treaty of Algernon hasn't been signed yet. I can't remember when that was signed. It must have been after this. Was it the early 24th century? I think it was, wasn't it, the Treaty of Algernon, where the Federation and Starfleet vowed never to develop a cloaking device. I wonder how that went. Anyway, so... fun and games ensue in this episode. Look, and Kirk gets disguised as a Romulan. Looks just like one. So he's got to sneak back aboard the Romulan ship, and there you go. Spock's beach. She's seducing Spock essentially. There you go. They're even getting down to the Vulcan dirty. But anyway. But it's all a ruse, and they're going to steal it, and so that's what they do. They steal the cloaking device, and Scotty puts it on the Enterprise. The Enterprise cloaks, and they get away with it, and everything's lovely. So now the Enterprise has a Romulan cloak. The Federation now has a Romulan cloaking device. But Spock's kind of a bit sad because I think he kind of liked the Romulan commander. She's never given a name, I don't think. She's just called the Romulan Commander. Anyway, because for some reason Romulans and Vulcans don't have captains. Their version of a captain is a commander, and their next down is sub-commander, which is equivalent to a Starfleet commander. Just makes it confusing. Anyway, so So there we go. So that's Enterprise Instant. Another good episode. I like that one. I think it's a good episode. It's quite kind of exciting and nice to see the Romulans again. But anyway, Commander Celine. Is that what she's called? I didn't think she was given a name. Or was she given the name retroactively? I don't know. I didn't think they mentioned it. What does it say? Where are we? I don't know where I'm looking. It just says Romulan Commander in the cast list. I don't think her name is actually mentioned in the episode. But anyway. I gave her that name after Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman. She's in it later on. In the later episode, I think it's near the end. I can't remember which one. It's Lee Merriweather is in it later. There's a couple of Batman people in this season because we see Batgirl as well. I've forgotten the name. It's gone out of me. Yvonne Craig. We see Yvonne Craig later on as well. Anyway, so yes, Enterprise Instant, a good episode. I enjoyed that one as well. Nice to see William Shatner overacting. Oddly enough, doesn't overact a lot, does he? But he does his nice bit of "Spock, I'll kill you, you traitor," and all that stuff. He does that quite a bit in this season, to be completely honest. Anyway, let's move on to the next episode. Paradise Syndrome. I don't like this one. I don't like this episode. Not that it's rubbish, it's just not my cup of tea. Anyway, here they're on this planet. There you go. McCoy's enjoying it. I swear that's honeysuckle I smell, Jem. But they're on this planet and they find there's an asteroid, by the way, heading for this planet. But they find this an alien device, which for some reason, did they reuse this in Space 1999? I'm sure I saw something similar in Season 2 of Space 1999. But I meant to check. I'll say that a lot. I meant to check and I forgot, because I'm an idiot. But I'm sure I saw a similar thing in Space 99. But anyway, whatever. And it turns out this is like an asteroid deflector, but it's malfunctioning. But before all that happens, Kirk disappears. They lose him, and he gets trapped. Oh, for God's sake! There we go. Oh, where are we? There we go. Kirk gets trapped. He falls through when everybody's not looking. He basically stands on a trapdoor, more or less, and falls down into the monolith, whatever you want to call it. He's in some control room, and it takes his memories away. He loses his memories. And they can't find him. They don't know where he is. They, Captain, where are you? So they don't know where he is, and but they haven't got time to do a thorough search. They've got to try and deflect this asteroid that's heading the way of the planet, and they're on a time scale, a timetable to deal with it. So while they go and deal with that, Kirk gets out of the monolith and comes across the locals. Oh, for God's sake, it's not showing them, is it? Who are will you just show me one of them instead of showing Kirk? There we go. Who are Native Americans or whatever we call them. I think they call them American Indians in this episode. That's when we were allowed to call them that. The preservers must also be the builders of all the buildings in Scooby-Doo. Maybe so. With the trapdoors and stuff, yeah. Anyway, so he gets... takes them to see them. They think he's a god, because he saves this person here that's has drowned or whatever. So he uses CPR and all that stuff and brings them back to life. They think he's a god. Shatner has it in his contract. All thumbnails and streaming apps must show it. Yes, it seems that way, doesn't it? Anyway, so they think he's a god, and they make this chap, who's like the shaman or witch doctor or whatever of the village, they make him give up his fetching bandana or whatever it is that thing that's round his head. And not William Shatner, Kirk, he becomes the shaman of the village because it's some sort of prophecy or whatever. Meanwhile, the Enterprise is trying to deflect this asteroid and not doing a very good job of it. Kirk falls in love with the daughter of the chief, and but she was betrothed to the other fella who had the thing on his head, and but now that Kirk is that person, she's now betrothed to him, and they fall in love. I think they get married. I think they do get married, or there's some sort of ceremony. But meanwhile, Spock's trying to work out what to do. Obviously, there's a fight. The fella that was spurned doesn't think that Kirk's a god, and he cuts his hand and he says, the god bleeds, and all that stuff. The Enterprise fails to deflect the asteroid enough, so it's still heading to the planet. And then Spock figures out that that the machine, it works out the writing on the machine. It essentially translates it, and it works out that that's an alien device that's going to deflect the asteroid. They've got to go back, and then maybe they can find the captain or reactivate the device. So that's what they're going to do. I don't know if it's all winds and stuff come. I don't know if that's to do with the asteroid or what. I don't know. But in their prophecies, the sky will darken and all that. And I don't know if that's to do with this asteroid that's on its way, or if it's just a coincidence. I don't know. But anyway, look, they've arrived back. They got stoned. I forgot to mention that. They got stoned by the villagers. So when Spock and McCoy arrive, they're not doing very well. But anyway, Kirk gets his memories back, but she's badly injured. I can't remember her name, Miramani, or whatever the hell they call her. She's badly injured, and so McCoy's looking after her. Right, so anyway, the upshot is they get it working again. It deflects the asteroid, but she dies. She was also pregnant with Kirk's child. And I don't think the child makes it either. So it's fine. It can go. But anyway, so off he goes. There you go. She dies, and off he goes back into space, ready for the next adventure. And there's an episode later on in this season where Kirk is having trouble forgetting, the woman is left behind. But he don't give a monkeys about her, about Miramani, whatever the hell she's called. Even though he was married to her and she was going to bear his child. Don't have any problems with that. But we'll get to that episode later. But anyway, so there we go. The Paradise Syndrome, not my favourite. Not my favourite episode. I'm not a fan, generally, of episodes where some of the crew get stranded on a planet somewhere and they've got to make do until they're rescued. I don't know why. Them episodes don't usually appeal to me, but obviously there's exceptions. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a wonder he didn't say that. Anyway, so there we go, Paradise Syndrome. That's not the best, but not terrible, but not the best. I don't think there's any... hang on. There we go. I don't think there's any episode in this that I hate, but in this season. But there's just some that are not as good as others. It's another one that, and the children shall lead, one that gets a bit of a ribbing, and I think rightly so. It's not the best because I don't like, kids, kids in this one. Anyway, right. So they get to this planet where there's been the Federation outpost of scientists, and they're all dead apart from him. But he soon dies. And they find all the others are dead, apart from the kids. The kids come playing out among the bodies. There they are. Oh, there would be. anyway, so they bury the people, but all the kids are the kids of the scientists, but they seem unconcerned about the deaths of their parents. And by the way, it's a very diverse group. There's a ginger, a child of colour, and an Asian child, and a blonde child, and an all-American kid. There they are. Anyway, so they're playing, and they seem unconcerned that their parents are dead. And it's mentioned earlier on, and you think later on they're going to make them concerned, they're going to make them cry later on and bring them round, which is what they do. They're being essentially controlled by, I've forgotten his name, the Gorgon. That's what they call him, the Gorgon. Don't know why he calls him the Gorgon. I don't think anybody mentions it to him, because Kirk just says it out of the blue, I think. Unless I missed it, but anyway, which is it's like a relic of the race that lived on that planet, and it wiped itself out, and the Gorgons, just all that's left. Obviously, a non-corporeal life form, because that's all that we had in Star Trek, the original series. I think 9 out of 10 of the blooming aliens that we come across are non-corporeal life forms. Anyway, they take the kids up to the Enterprise, but the kids want to go to this other planet. The Gorgon tells them to go to this other planet where there'll be millions of kids for them to play with, and the Gorgon can conquer that world and rule and all that stuff. That's what he's gonna do. So they take. Oh, there we go. We've got to look at him then. Where is he? There he is. There he is. With his moo. It just reminds me, I don't know, I just think of Homer Simpson, in that episode where he got massively fat so he could work from home. And he wore his moo. It just reminds me of that for some reason. Anyway. So the kids try to get to this other planet. They're going to take them to Starbase 4 or whatever. Starbase 4 gets mentioned a couple of times in this season. So they must all the adventures must take place in just this one area. But they want to go somewhere else, so they use the power. They do that. Use the power of the Gorgon to control the minds of the crew of the Enterprise and make them, bend to their will. But they make Uhura think she looks old and full of diseases when she looks in. For some reason, she's got. There we go. Hang on, you can see it there. Look. Bet don't land on it. Showers, damn it. For some reason, she's got a big mirror. Oh, for God's sake. There we go. For some reason, she's got a big mirror on her console. Why? Don't know. She just has. But she can see herself looking like that. Alright, and Sulu can just see loads of swords heading towards the Enterprise, and I don't know what other people see. But it's the kids controlling them to do that. Look, you see them doing that. Look, doing that. Don't know why. Maybe they want a coffee. Maybe they think they're Gareth Hunt off those old coffee adverts. Anyway, obviously they overcome the kids and they get them to cry and they make them turn against the Gorgon, which they do. They feel sorry for their parents because they show them video of them playing with their parents, and the Gorgon just basically buggers off, loses its power and sods off. There you go. They're all crying. Look, oh, for God's sake, how much credits? Go back again. And everything's lovely. And is one of these supposed to be? Oh, was that another one? Was that another episode? One of the kids in this series, is it her? Is William Shatner's daughter? Is it her? Or was she in one of the other episodes? I think she might be on was she in Deadly Years? Or another episode? I can't remember. Not Deadly Years. Miri. I think it was Miri, wasn't it? Anyway, whatever. Right, so anyway, they get the kids crying, and then they're happy. Not happy, but you know what I mean. They're free of the Gorgon's influence, and off we go to the next adventure. What's the next one? Oh, there we go. Is there in beauty? I can't say it. Is there in truth no beauty? And a nice shot of the Enterprise there. Probably the music going. Da, 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 da. Anyway, this one, the I forgot the bloody call now. Medusan ambassador is coming aboard. And there's different ways to spell it. In the subtitles that they've got on Netflix, it's spelled Medeusan, Medusan. But on like Memory Alpha, it's just Medusan, like Medusa. The Gorgons again. Last week we had the Gorgons, and this week we got the Medusans. What they're playing at. Anyway, the Medusan ambassador's coming on board, and this is where we learn that the Medusans are so ugly that they drive, any human insane. They say any human, but maybe they mean, a sentient being. Drive them insane. And I don't know why. Does it do it on this bit? When they beam them up, when they beam them over, Spock's got to wear this headset, and I think they forget at the end. It's going to show it. There we go. He's got to wear, well, not his headset, a visor. Got to wear this visor. Oh, he's sodded off now. But they forget about it at the end. Not the visor, the fact that Kirk doesn't have one. But we'll get to that. So he beams him up. But I don't know why he's got to wear it now, because he's not seeing the Medusan. Beams him up. There we go. Transporter beeps. There we go. Beams. We see him getting the red rose-tinted glasses. And the Medusan's in there. And we also meet Diana Muldaur, Win Grace's favourite actress, as somebody, I can't bloody remember her name. But there we go. And then he takes off his visor. And so I don't know why he wore it, because he didn't see the Medusan. The Medusan's in its box. Did they wear it just in case he gets out of his box mid-transport, even though you can't actually. Technically, you're not supposed to be able to move during transport. Never mind that episode with Reg Barkley. Never mind that. But anyway. Anyway, so there we go. So the Medusan is heading for a some meeting somewhere, whatever. And Diana Muldaur's character looks after him. I can't remember the name. But it turns out she's blind, so she can look at the Medusa because she can't see it, if you know what I mean. But she's trying to make out that she can see. Because it looks like she can see, but it turns out she's psychic as well. They moved mid-transport in the TOS movies. Well, yeah, they did, didn't they? And they spoke. But will they speak, or did they just start speaking before transporting and then carried on after, if you know what I mean? Whatever. But you're not supposed to be able to move, though, are you? The transport is supposed to freeze you. Not freeze you, but basically put you in stasis or whatever. Make every molecule in your body just stay still while it scans you, innit? Is it the annular confinement beam or something like that? So that it can, knows where every cell in your body is, or every atom. But anyway, so don't blame Barkley. I'll blame who I bloody like. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying now. Oh, yes, she's blind. But she's super psychic, so she's got amazing telepathic power, so she can move about. It's a bit like Daredevil, I suppose, even though Daredevil isn't psychic, but you know what I mean. Right, so I forgot what happens now. I've generally forgot. I've generally forgot the crux of the story. What happens? He's jealous, isn't he? Because he's in love with her. He's in love with Diana Muldaur. And Kirk's going to try and probably seduce Dr. Pulaski. Yes. What is it? Oh, I've bloody forgot now. I genuinely have forgotten. Spock's got to do something. And basically do a mind meld or whatever with the Medusan. Oh, that's it. Yes, the Enterprise is thrown somewhere where they shouldn't be, and they can't find the way back. But the Medusans are amazing navigators. That's it. So Spock has to get the information from the Medusan, so he's got to mind meld with it. So he's got to look at it, and he puts his goggles on, and does it, and it merges with him. Its mind goes into Spock, so he starts laughing and stuff, because it does. They've been flung outside the galaxy. For some reason, it looks like this, and don't know why. But anyway, and the Medusan navigational skills gets them back, even though they just basically just go back the way they came. But anyway, whatever. And then he goes back to put the Medusan back in its box, so to speak. But he forgets his goggles, and he goes insane. So, but not really. He's fine. Don't worry about it. And then what happens? I can't bloody remember. She's using her psychic powers to save Spock, and then they get to the rendezvous with this cool little ship. I don't know if we see it again, but never mind. Let's go back again. I can't remember the name of the ship, but anyway, everything's fine in the end, and they carry on. And I think the fella that were in love with her, I think he dies, but I can't remember how. Are the 10C there? No, they're not, because that's bloody stupid. Is it this one with his inner eyelids? Yes, it is that one, isn't it? Because he's from a desert planet, so he's got inner eyelids that protected him from the beauty of the Medusan, because it's suggested that they're too beautiful for mortals to look upon. Anyway, right, she sods off and the Medusan, and this is the bit we're on about. Right, come on, show us. Let's go back again. There we go. He's just standing there. He's Kirk, and he doesn't bugger off. Spock puts his goggles back on as he transports them, and I thought, why does he have to put the goggles on to transport them? They live long and prosper. Oh, Miranda, that's her name. I think Kirk's given her a rose because she liked the scent of the rose. That's it. Transporting her, we're seeing his point of view through the goggles. But Kirk was just standing there. We're going to see him in a minute. There he is. He didn't need his goggles, did he? I don't get it. It don't make any sense, but never mind. Anyway, on to the next episode. That's it. I'm not a fan of this episode either, to be honest. It's okay, but whatever. And I don't understand that bit with the goggles for the transport. I don't know why did they need them for transporting. Don't know. That wasn't Kirk. That was Shatner refusing not to be in the scene. Well, yes, he's the star. I'm the star of this series. God damn it! I'm going to be in every scene. But we've got a spare pair of goggles. We've only got one pair. And in the scene where it's showing two people wearing them, we have to swap them between shots. Probably. But anyway. So there we go. So that's episode 5. Is there, in truth, no beauty? It's fine. Not one of my favourites, but it'll do. And that's the Medusans, who we'll see again. Or one of them again in Star Trek Prodigy, won't we? So that's a cool thing. Not in a box. But in a robot body that moves about. A bit like Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc. Anyway, moving on. Spectre of the Gun. Hey, right, here we go. What you started there for? Go on. Right. Now then, the Enterprise comes across like a probe, or not a probe. It's supposed to be like a buoy. Boy, whatever, in space that's in their path, and they can't get round it, but they do. There it is. And they're warned not to go any further. I can't remember the name of the aliens. I've forgotten. Does it say? No, it doesn't say. Never mind. Windgrace will tell me in a minute. So that basically they get round it. Oh, well, there you go. Space. Melcott. There we go. Actually, I like the look of these aliens a lot. I must be honest when we see them. And they just go around the buoy, whatever. They just ignore it, and They arrive at a planet. Hang on. Any minute, there we go. See, they just go round it. Sod it. So much for that. There we go. They arrive at a planet. There it is. Oh, it was. There it was. There it is. And they beam down, and I wonder what 1384 means. I've never noticed that before on the side of the Enterprise. Was that on the model as well, do you think? Anyway, could have put people walking about in the windows, couldn't they? Never mind. Right, here we go. They beam down, but it's all foggy. Josh Temple's here. Cool. Could use your harpoon at the gunfight at the OK Corral. Anyway. They arrive and it's all weird, and there we go. We see the Melkosians. I don't know what they call them, but they look cool. With glowing eyes and stuff. And basically, they're accused of trespassing, and which obviously they did. They were warned not to go, and Kirk ignored the warning. Put his people in danger. So they basically. It says. This is another one. Kirk says. Says, we're here in peace, and then gets his gun out. It might be this bit, actually. There he goes, talking about the disease. Oh, I see, you've gone too far now. I've gone too far. Come on, show. There we go. We come in peace, then gets his gun out. But we will defend ourselves if necessary. There we go. So the Melkosians transport or whatever to... the OK Corral, or not the OK Corral, Tombstone, but it's not. It's obviously on the same planet. It's an illusion or whatever. And their phases have been changed into 6 shooters. So this is their punishment for. This is their sentence for encroaching on Melkosian space. They've got to be killed at the OK Corral. Because they scanned, the Enterprise computers. So they know all about human history now, or whatever. And the Enterprise crew are the I forgot the name of them now. The baddie gang. They're the baddie gang. Well, not all of them were killed, but who were mostly killed at the OK Corral. Anyway, right. So they come across townsfolk who just recognise them as the ne'er-do-wells, and so they've got to find a way out of it. And they're thinking, well, everything seems to indicate that what's going to happen happened exactly as it happened, in the gunfight, happened in history. But it doesn't, it turns out, because Chekhov gets killed, and the character that he's supposed to be he survived the gunfight at the OK Corral, so they can change things. It's not going to happen exactly as history told us. So anyway, so they sort it all out. They work out that they don't have to kill the other people. It's the device smoke bombs and stuff that don't work for some reason. There's Spock is not mind melding, but is reinforcing McCoy's mind for something. There we go. Because it's all an illusion. There we go. It's reinforcing McCoy's mind that the bullets can't hurt him. This is one of Win Grace's favourite episodes. Cool. Not one of mine favourite episodes. But anyway. So they beat, Wyatt Earp and his people. But not to death, Don't beat them to death. They've outwitted the Melkosians, who send them back to the Enterprise. Everything's back to normal, and they decide, fair enough, we'll not go there then, and off we go to another adventure. It's all right. I don't mind it. I like the Melkosians. They look cool. Win Grace loves it, he says. There you go. I will reiterate. But it's all right. It's not one of my favourites, but it is, a pretty good episode, showing that they'll, that if they don't have to kill, they won't. Even though he got his phaser out straight away, didn't he? But yeah, it's a good episode. It's okay. It's okay. Right, moving on. What are we up to now? Number 7, Day of the Dove. This is the one with the Klingons in it. Here we go. They're beamed down to this planet, and there we go. Klingons arrive, accusing the Enterprise of blowing up their ship, with 400 crew are dead and all that. Not blowing up the ship, attacking his ship, killing 400 of his crew. So he's going to claim the Enterprise. It just does a lot of things that don't happen in lots of the original series, including the whole cast including using the whole cast outside of Sulu. Oddly, speaking of using the whole cast, in the last few episodes, Uhura's oddly missing, which is weird. But anyway, gets replaced by this other officer whose name I've forgotten. But anyway, there's Michael and Sarah, who I've just watched in an episode of Babylon 5. So that's a clue to what one of my favourite episodes of Babylon 5 is. And he's as Kang. Is it Kang? Can't remember. So he's claiming the Enterprise. So, and obviously they're all super angry with each other. And for some reason, the Klingons in this episode have got lots of makeup on. Very dark-skinned in this episode for some weird reason. But anyway, so a bit of fighting, a bit of animosity going on, obviously. And as they, I don't know, I'm going to show it. As they beam up to the Enterprise, it's not going to bloody show it, is it? We see that there's something. There it is. We see that there's something else there on the planet, and as anger were brewing between the Starfleet and the Klingons, it turned red. So anyway, this is the bad guy in the episode. I don't know if it has a name. Does it have a name? I can't remember. But it's feeding on the bad emotions of the Klingons and the Starfleet people. Anyway, it follows them up to the Enterprise, and it's encouraging them to fight each other. And it yes, another non-corporeal life form, another one. Anyway, it gets rid of all the weapons, all the energy weapons, and they just have like swords and knives and stuff like that. And it traps. Pardon me. It traps the Enterprise crew in various parts of the ship. So there's an equal number of Klingons and humans, 38. There's 38 Klingons and 38 not humans, Starfleet crew. Well, they're mostly humans. And the rest of the Enterprise crew is trapped. So they can't intervene. Dear. And so they're fighting and stuff like that, and they come to the realisation that they're being controlled by this alien entity. So they realise that they've got to stop fighting each other, essentially. Kirk, that's a bit of a naughty scene, because obviously it's affecting the crew, and Chekhov attacks the Klingon's wife, Kang's wife. Is she ever mentioned again? Is she mentioned in Deep Space Nine? Can't remember. Is it Kang? I think it's Kang, isn't it? Obviously, and she's saved by Kirk. There he is, just peeking around the corner. Looks a bit like Vic Mignogna there, doesn't it? But anyway, so there we go. They saw it then. They saw the weird alien. Non-corporeal life form and glowing red, and you think that she's sort of like come round and she believes them, but then she betrays them, but then believes them again. She's a woman. She can't make her mind up. Anyway, the upshot is the convict convinced Kang and his men to stop fighting, because all this fighting's going on all over the ship as well. And they convince each other to stop fighting. They basically start laughing at it. They say, "Go away, ha ha ha! We're not enemies anymore. You're rubbish. Bugger off." And so it does. It just sods off. It sods off into space. There you go. There it goes. Look. There you go. Probably to bother some more people. Although we never see it again. Or do we? I don't know. Will it pop up in lower decks? Or has it already and I just never noticed? Don't know. It's alright as an episode. I don't mind Day of the Dove. Because it's all about making peace with your enemies, which is what happens in this. So, to defeat a common enemy. But yeah, it's a good episode, it's Day of the Dove. It's worth a watch. Another one I'm not a fan of, but I think it's another one of Windgrace's favourites. For the earth is hollow and I have touched the sky, and I don't understand these missiles that are heading towards the Enterprise. It doesn't explain them. It doesn't explain them whatsoever. Really. Anyway, right, so the Enterprise is... I nearly pressed the wrong button then. There you go. It's under attack from these missiles, and they easily get rid of them. There's the Enterprise's weapons. And they find out where they came from. It's from this, like an asteroid or whatever, planetoid. There we go to the missile's point of origin, where they're going. I don't really care for the plot, just love the title. Oh, that's a cool title. Yes, it's this one, isn't it? I've just remembered. Because McCoy were having a row with Nurse Chapel, and we find out that Coy's got some incurable disease. It tells us what it is. He's going to say it here. Hang on. Come on, tell us. I've missed it, haven't I? Whatever. Alright, what is it? Right, here we go. Xenopolycythemia. Cool. But it's McCoy that's got it, and it's going to kill him. I wonder what's that a skull of? I don't know. What the hell's that? Don't know. Anyway. McCoy's going to die. He's got a year to live. Anyway, they find this asteroid, and it's got a name, which I can't remember. Yenada, something like that. I've forgotten. And it's headed for it's headed for another world, and if they don't stop it, it's going to crash into it and stuff like that. Better Call M'Benga is in this season, and he pronounces it M'Benga in this season. But in the previous season we saw him in, he pronounced it M'Benga, but McCoy pronounced it M'Benga. What the hell is it? No idea. Anyway. Right, so here we go. They're going to beam over to it because, that's what they do. And we're going to get a view of it. There it is. Come on, show us. Show us. Oh, for Christ's sake. Anyway, there you go. That's the asteroid that fired the missiles at the Enterprise, and it doesn't explain why. But anyway. I presume it's malfunctioning because this isn't an asteroid; it's a spaceship that just looks like an asteroid. Anyway, the beam over to it. There we go. They land on it. 'Cause obviously, it's got an atmosphere. Obviously, but then they get accosted by people who come out of these tubes. What's this? Some kind of tube? And then a woman appears and. Obviously, Kirk stops fighting because it's a woman, and there she is. And they get taken below because they have invaded. They are invaders. There they are, and obviously it's another computer. The computer for the asteroid. The ship's computer is malfunctioning, and the people living inside it don't recall. It's a generational spaceship, and over the generations they've forgotten where they originally came from, and they don't know they're on a spaceship. They think that's their world. Anyway, so they've got to. There's another computer they've got to overcome, but obviously it won't let them. It punishes them. McCoy decides to stay. They let the others go, to return to the Enterprise. But McCoy says he's going to stay because he's going to die anyway. And I think they've got to go back to the Enterprise, and it's like months away from hitting this planet. There's a bit of confusion, for me anyway, about the time frames and all that. But anyway, this is the computer that's, in error. I can't remember if it's got a name, I've forgotten. But there we go, it punishes people, look, like that. Anyway, it finds the book, which is the instructions on how to fix it, but it's their holy book or whatever, I don't know. But McCoy finds it, so he gets in touch. He gets in touch with the Enterprise, because his communicator obviously still works, and tells them that they've got to come back and find this book, and it'll cure them. And he'd also been given an injection or whatever, a control thing, so the computer could punish him. But Spock, when he comes back, Spock takes it out, and I think they take hers out as well. But anyway, they find the book. There was taking it out of her as well. The control chip or whatever. But they find the book, and they reprogram the computer, and it's going to safely arrive at the other planet instead of just crashing into it or whatever. I think McCoy asked her to go with him. I think, come with me, but she says, I can't, I've got to stay, and all that stuff. So much like, Kirk with the Native Americans, this is McCoy with these. But anyway, he sods off, and he's fine, he's cured. There we go. Because there were also there was the cure, because even though it's like an old civilization that wasn't as advanced as the Federation, they were super advanced medically, and they had a cure for xenopolycythemia. So McCoy's cured, and off they go to their next adventure. It's all right, I suppose. It's all right, this one. I think it might be better than I remembered, actually. When I'm going into it, I'm thinking, this one I don't like is this one. But I watched and I thought, it's okay. It's okay. But anyway, but we're moving on to the next one. So, episode 9. The Tholian Web. Everybody likes the Tholian Web. See, season 3 had some great episodes, didn't it? Look, when you just stumble across a cure 2 days after getting a disease. Yeah, it's cool, is that, isn't it? Yeah, it's #blessed. He's a jammy sod, isn't he? He's McCoy. He's bloody lucky. Anyway, right, the USS Enterprise in the Tholian Web is getting a distress call from the USS. Why am I blanking? Defiant. The USS Defiant. Distress call. What does it say now? They're in an unexplored sector of space or something. Yes, I remembered Wingrace. I think they say an unexplored sector of space. What's the bloody Defiant doing there then? I don't know. But anyway. So they're heading there to find the Defiant, and there we go. They find it. There it is. Oh, it would be. If it landed, there we go. And it's all glowing green, look. Dun, 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 dun. I bet it's got music. I bet it's got scary, exciting music. Put volume on, have a listen. I don't know if there are no life signs or something like that, or I can't remember. But they're wearing these snazzy space suits. They're quasi-futuristic space suits. They're beaming over. Is them lot. And it's the usual group. Who is it? Is that Chekhov? Yes, Chekhov, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. And all the crew on the Defiant is dead because they killed each other. There you go. For some reason. I don't know if it explains why. Maybe they went to where the Event Horizon went, or you know, I'd be thinking, hang on, is it that thing that happened way back at the beginning of season 1, then in the Naked Time, or the Naked Now in the future, but whatever. But I don't think it explains it. Sulu doesn't seem to be up to much this season either. He pops up a couple of times, but they do replace him a few times. There's one episode, I can't remember which episode it is off the top of my head, but he gets completely replaced by an officer called Lieutenant Rada, who seems to be like, I don't know, Indian or something like that. She's got the red dot on the forehead. And for some reason, the director or whatever just wanted to show her a lot. I don't know why, but anyway, that's by the by. Anyway, all the crew of the Defiant's dead, and the Defiant's drifting as well, by the way, so Sulu has got to keep up with it. Uhura hasn't got her mirror anymore, look, on her console, look, not that I can see. Anyway, what happens now? I can't remember. Do the crew start going mad? I think they do with this one, isn't it? Is it? Because he's tied down, isn't he? And whatever happened to the crew on the Defiant starts happening to the crew of the Enterprise, doesn't it? They start going crazy, don't they? I think. There we go. And it's happening to Chekhov, look. Right, so, hang on. What's happened? Just a minute. There we go. They've got to beam back, because there we go, because the Defiant's starting to disappear, to phase out. Uhura does have a mirror in this episode, though. Does she? Can't remember. We'll probably get to that bit. They've got to beam back, but obviously something's up with the transporter for some reason, and they can only beam 3 of them back. Because. So they beam back the other 3. Kirk says, you 3 go, and then beam me afterwards, and then they can't. Or they start beaming him, that's it. They start beaming him, but then the Defiant disappears. It winks out of existence, and they've lost the captain. So Spock takes over command, obviously, and they've got to try and find out where the captain is. And then they work out that the Defiant's going to reappear in, so many hours. But then the Tholians arrive, just to put another spanner in the works. There's Chekhov going crazy. The crew start going mental, don't they? Here we go. The Tholians have arrived, warning them that not to go any further into Tholian space or whatever. And Spock says, we're looking for one of our ships. We're on a rescue mission, etc. And it says the ship will reappear in 1 hour 59 minutes or whatever. And the Tholians say, be gone, like a minute after that. So at least they give them that time, don't they? So the Tholians aren't all bad. So at least they give them that time to rescue their captain. Now there's more of the crew going crazy. It starts spreading throughout the ship, and there we go. There's the Tholian ship. There's the Tholian ship, and then obviously they run out of time. They haven't got the captain. So the Tholians start spinning their web in a minute. There we go. Start spinning their web. Anyway. Oh, there we go. Come on, show us it. Show us it. No. Show us the special effects. Cool. Anyway, whatever. Love the Tholians. I love the Tholians in the Enterprise episode. I forgot what they called it now. No, not Time Squared. That was a TNG one, wasn't it? That one with the time ship that they found. I love that episode. But anyway. Where were we? So the Tholians are trapping them in this web. So they've got to work out what to do. I think they've lost their captain now. They're coming to terms that the captain has been lost. And they're going to have to head back. But I think now is this when the crew starts seeing the captain? Oh, aye. Also the watch the video of the captain's last last orders. Oh, I thought you meant Mirror Darkly. No, not that one. Well, we saw lots of Tholian ships. There was that time ship, wasn't there, from the future that they found. And yes, Future Tense, that's the one, yes. And loads of Tholians arrived, don't they? And they end up fighting with the Suliban and all them, don't they? And it's cool. And I loved it when they all went off into warp and they all went... It was cool. But anyway. I forgot what I was now. Oh, aye, they're watching the captain's final orders to him and all that stuff, telling him, telling Spock to, listen to McCoy, and McCoy listen to Spock, and all that stuff. Be friends, basically. Aye, here we go. This the bit you were on about, Windgrace, where Uhura does have a mirror, because she looks in her mirror in a minute. She got big quarters, hasn't she, compared to some of the others. Here it is. There's her mirror, or miroir. And she sees Kirk in it. In a minute. If it shows us. Oh, but she's getting the pains of craziness. But as she looks in the mirror, she sees Captain Kirk. There he is. Going all like that. Because I don't know why, but he just is. But he's appeared to her. And she tries to tell people, but she tries to tell McCoy, but he doesn't believe her. Says, "You're insane, woman. You're insane. It's not real." So basically ties her up in sick bay. Maybe she trades quarters with Pike. Yes, maybe so. Well, he's still got his open fire. Anyway, that's cool. That's great wallpaper, is that, isn't it? It is. You know what? I can't do it, can I? Because is there a way to get rid of that? No, there ain't. Never mind. I was going to print screen that, but I didn't want all this lot here. But never mind. Where were we? There we go. The Enterprise had been surrounded by the Tholian web. But Scotty, I think Scotty sees. There we go. He sees the captain. There we go. Mr. Spock, I've just seen Captain Kirk. Plain as day. It says, just like you and me, except you like see through, but you don't say that, but never mind. So they know that they're seeing him now. There's something going on, and they're seeing the captain for some reason. And then, so I'm not crazy. No, you're not, but whatever. Anyway, they figure it out. Oh, yes. McCoy finds the cure for the craziness. They've just got to drink some orange juice. You're coming across as a bit of a Tholian weeb. I don't know what a weeb is. But it was a cool image, wasn't it? I wanted to print screen it and save it, but never mind. So the cure the madness. But then Captain Kirk reappears, look. And do they beam him aboard? How did they destroy the Tholian web? I can't remember. They do something, don't they, and get thrown clear of it, and I forgot what they do. What do they do? Can't remember. Get ready to close the web. Come on, tell us what he did. Because I forgot what they do to get clear. They get thrown clear of the Tholian web, don't they? And I forgot what they do. Hey, dear. Do they use the interface or something to throw themselves away? Come on, get on with it. One. Come on, get on with it. Bloody hell. It does take some faffing, doesn't it? We're being pulled out of it. I can't remember how. And I can't land on the bit that explains it, but never mind. They'll use the engines and they'll reverse the polarity of the neutron flow or whatever, and they get out of it and they save the captain, they beam him back on board, and here we go, they're doing that now by the looks of it. Here he comes. I think they've got to do a bit of jiggity poker, it's not quite right, but they do get him. There he is, he's fine. Little did he know, he went to the mirror universe again, didn't he? Anyway. So there we go. So that's that. He thought, you thought I was dead, so did you check the video I recorded, with info for you? And they say, no, we didn't see that. because it was quite poignant and nice. But anyway, there we go. So he's just left sitting in his chair going, oh, right, fair enough. Credits. And that's it. It's good as the Tholian Web. It's one of those top episodes. But everybody likes the Tholians because they're cool. But yeah, one of my favourites. I like Tholian Web. It's cool. Right, next up, another one that's not on a lot of people's favourites list, but it's an important episode. But it's not really. I don't think it is. Because it's the one where, the first interracial kiss on American television. But it's not. If you watch it, it's not. They don't kiss. They don't kiss. But anyway, where have they? What have they arrived at? I don't know. They responded to distress calls. Oh, yes, there's these. Yes, Plato's stepchildren are the people that live on this planet. Thomas remind me of the shadows. Who's Thomas? Tholians, you mean? Tholians. Tholians remind you of the shadows. All right. I use an autocorrect. I don't know, a bit. Yeah, a bit. When we see them in Enterprise, they're kind of like crab-like, aren't they? Spindly legs and stuff, haven't they? Too much horsing. Yeah, too much horse. Yeah, this one, which we'll get to. Anyway, right, the people on this planet who call themselves Plato's stepchildren, amongst other things, because they've got super mind powers. But they're usually from Earth. I don't know. But anyway, they came to this world, and living on this planet's given these super amazing mind powers. But one of them's ill. I don't know what's up with. I've forgotten. I don't know, varicose veins or something. I don't bloody know. But they arrive. Oh, and they meet this fella. I can't remember his name either. But he's the only one of the people that live there that doesn't have mind power, so they basically pick on him and use him as a slave and all that. But anyway, they find the fella that's ill. There he is. And McCoy, treats him, and but obviously they don't want him to go. Oh, pardon me. They don't want him to go, and they start using the mind powers on them. Hang on, where are we? And hang on just a minute. Oh, for Pete's sake. There we go. She was in Salem's Lot. I was watching it, I was thinking, I know her face from something. And so I looked her up. She was in Salem's Lot. She played Mark Petrie's mother in the 1979 Salem's Lot. But anyway. So basically, they trap him there because they want McCoy to stay and look after him, essentially. Obviously, they're not prepared to do that. So they start using him as, as playthings, essentially. The little fella, whose name I've forgotten, hates them because, they bully him all the time. Anyway, the upshot of it is, this is where they're getting forcibly brought before them. Oh dear. It's not a good episode, is this? It isn't. But they're gonna make them stay there or whatever, and they're making Spock dance around Kirk. It's a bit crap. I was trying to get to the main bits of it. The beam down. That send word to the Enterprise, to the bad guys, to beam down Uhura and Nurse Chapel. So they arrive in a minute. There they are. They've made them get dressed in Greco-Roman style clothing. And then they are brought before the Plato stepchildren people. Platonians. I think they call them Platonians, actually. Something like that. And make them essentially perform for them. Have I missed out there? I think I've missed out that bit, haven't I? Or is that later on? It might have been earlier on. So do a bit earlier on, see if we can find it. Where they make the little fella ride Kirk like a horse. Oh, it's this bit in it. There we go. So that's this bit. Where they make him ride Kirk like a horse, and make Kirk whinny. And they're trying to make, say, if you agree to stay with us, McCoy, we'll make all this stop. But Kirk has ordered him. He's ordered McCoy, to say no to them. That's an order. So there you go. Right, later on, this is the famous kiss scene. There you go. And she's saying, Captain, I'm so scared and all that stuff, and they're going to kiss. Except they don't. They're going to show it. Right, if you watch, they don't. It just like presses. It don't even press his mouth. They just like rub the mouths against each other. They don't kiss. There we go. Look. They're not kissing. They're just like Anyway, and they've done the similar thing with Christine Chapel and Spock. She's like, oh, I've always wanted this, Spock, but not like this. But anyway. Right, so... and before this, they'd found that they could... that because of the planet they lived on, because they'd been there a while, it was the planet that gave them psychic powers. So McCoy were able to, get something. There's something in the food that they eat, or something like that. So he was able to find out what it was that sparked off these psychic powers, and he injects Kirk and Spock, so that they're going to develop their own psychic powers. They overcome them by the end. So there we go, and they beat him, and this little fella's going to stab him because he's the main bad guy. But Kirk stops him. He talks him out of it, and then. But anyway, so basically Kirk warns him off. And they take the little fella away. They take the little fella with them. Kirk warns him off and says, stop it off, stop being naughty, or we'll come back and do horrible things to you, or whatever. And they're taking him away. Don't know where they take him to, but they're beaming him up to the Enterprise, and they're all laughing, and off they go, on to the next adventure. It's an interesting episode. I wouldn't call it good, but it's interesting. It didn't have the first interracial kiss, because they didn't kiss. They just kind of touched faces. But anyway, whatever. I suppose it's an interesting idea about, mind powers, but we've seen it all before, haven't we, in Star Trek? We've seen people with amazing mind powers, from Gary Mitchell to the Telosians, way back at the beginning of Star Trek. So why'd they bring it up again towards the end? Dunno. Moving on. Wink of an eye, right. There's 3 episodes I always get mixed up. It's Wink of an Eye. I think it's Whom Gods Destroy. No. We'll get to it. There's 2 in this season and 1 from an earlier season. The one with the Andromedans. I forgot what they call it now. The one with the Andromedans, Wink of an Eye, and the one with the woman that goes into a thing. Is it Whom? It's not Whom Gods Destroy. It's I can't. Hang on. I've got a bloody episode list here. Where is it? Is it That Which Survives? It could be. That Which Survives. Yeah, it is. Anyway, I always get them 3 mixed up. Or muddled, all merged together. But anyway, right, this is Wink of an Eye, right. The Enterprise has arrived. They got a distress call from this planet. There we go. And there's nobody there. They can't find anybody. And but they're still getting the distress call from the same place on the Enterprise. They can see that. I think it's supposed to be a live call, and they don't understand why they can't see, these people. But they're saying, we're still getting the distress call, and they're in the same place where you are. They don't understand what's going on. And then, hang on, I just missed it, haven't I? Then I think this fella here is just going to disappear in a minute. Him in the red shirt is going to vanish any second now. I think it is. For God's sake. Is it this? Is it now? Kirk hears this buzzing. Pause, will you? Kirk hears this buzzing. Make sure we're still going. Because I've been playing bits, haven't I? Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Kirk hears this buzzing. He don't know what it is. He thinks it's an insect. You have the buzzings of bees. But anyway, the red shirt just disappears. But when? I can't remember. It's going to be any minute. I think it's before the titles. It's just finding that bit, isn't it? Oh, there we go. It's just disappeared. I was looking right at him. There we go. Here's go. Oh, look, he just vanished in a weird 1960s effect. So he just disappeared. They don't know why. So they're thinking, oh, crikey, what happened then? So they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. There's nobody there. Hang on, there's something else just down there. I've forgotten. Oh, he's giving him a check-up. I can't bloody remember. Where are we? They get. I think they get told to go somewhere. I can't actually remember. So he takes a security team with him, but then the security team are not allowed to go. There we go. They see. They fire the phasers. Look, nothing happens. Anyway, have they seen people? I can't bloody remember. I tell you, I'm bloody hopeless. What happens? I genuinely can't remember what happens here. Honestly can't, because I'm stupid. Anyway, right, so they go to this environmental engineering. Something's going on with the Enterprise. I honestly can't remember what. I want to just bloody watch the episode and all. Tell you, that's the trouble with cramming this whole season in. Can't bloody remember stuff. I should take notes, but I can't be bothered. Anyway, then she appears. Oh, for some reason, I think her eyes are just a bit too far apart, and I don't know what Kirk sees in her. I don't know. But anyway, I'm sure she's a lovely person though. But she's not in this. She just appears and she does something to Kirk. That was it. She put something in his coffee. I don't know if they have Ractagino in this. Is it just normal coffee? Probably. She puts something in his coffee, and it speeds him up. It puts them into their time frame because they're moving about really quick, and everybody else seems to move really slowly, if at all. So she's taking Kirk into their super quick time frame, which is why it's called wink of an eye. And essentially, she wants him. He fires his phaser at her, and she just steps out of the way. Where is it? I've gone past it. I can't bloody remember. She kisses him, though, obviously, because it's Kirk. Anyway, so she takes him to the her bosses, but there we go, a bit more acting. She wants him for some reason. You know what? I can't remember why. And he comes across the fella that disappeared. The fella that disappeared is not dead. He's just been speeded up. But he's all for it. He's with them now. They want to take the Enterprise and, do bad things or whatever. And then it keeps cutting to the Enterprise crew doing their things. But if they're moving really slowly compared to these, shouldn't there be some discrepancy in what's happening? I don't know. But anyway, don't overthink it. It's like 5 minutes of our time is like 6 hours of their time or whatever. I don't know, but it doesn't explain it that well. She wants Kirk for some reason. I can't remember why. But obviously they suss them out and stop them essentially. There they have a fight with a chair, and I can't remember what they do with them. I genuinely can't remember. I want to just bloody watched it. I know, but do they just go? I think they just go. They go back to the planet, I think, and there you go. Beam them back down, and carry on their merry way. I don't like this episode. I think it's boring. I do. I think it's boring and dull. And that's probably why I can't remember anything about it. So give it a miss, wink of an eye. Good title, though. Right, next up, The Empath. I think this was banned in the UK for a while. I think because of the scenes of torture. I'm sure this is the one that was banned. Let me check. The Empath. The Empath, where are you? Open link in new tab. Yes. This episode is one of a handful not screened in the United Kingdom by the BBC for many years, owing to its disturbing content, in brackets, torture. So it's not broadcast by the BBC until January 1994. So there you go. There you go, banned by the BBC. Anyway, the Enterprise arrived at this planet and I've got some sort of thing there. I've got I can't remember, a base or whatever, I don't know, a research post, and it's all dusty, look. And the they go to watch the tapes, and I think what happens? I can't really remember what happens. Something happens, and I forgot what. What happened to them? Don't know. I can't remember. But then there's a loud noise. Look, that sets them off, and I think they get transported somewhere. Hang on. Is it going to disappear? There we go. It disappears in a flash of light. So they've gone somewhere else. They've been taken. There they are. They're in some weird TV studio with a woman on a weird bed who doesn't speak because she can't speak, and because she's got no vocal cord. So can you make no noise whatsoever if you've no vocal cord? Can't you even scream, or is there a way to? I don't know, because I don't know how it works. I don't know. Anyway. Surely you can make some sort of noise. Just the noise of air coming from your lungs is a noise. So, anyway, whatever. And we learn that she's the empath of the title. And we learn that she can, if you get an injury, she can make the injury appear on herself and then disappear. But obviously she feels that pain. She's, she's a miles better empath than Deanna Troi. But at least Deanna Troi can talk. But anyway, they're all part of an experiment by these guys, whatever they're called. I have no idea. It tells us the names, I think, but I can't remember. So they're experimenting on the trio, torturing them, and then letting her feel their pain and get rid of their injuries and stuff for their own reasons. They don't really. I don't know. It might explain it, but I didn't understand it because they want her to save her race, but they say she's not ready. By the end, they say she's not ready. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But anyway, the upshot of it is they keep torturing them, and she keeps, taking away their injuries and stuff. And there's Kirk being tortured. But anyway, they do it to they do something to McCoy because they say there's a chance that McCoy 97% chance that he'll die or whatever, and I think he more or less does, and she takes his injuries away and saves him. But obviously they get round it, and they outwit them and whatever. But I think they just go. I think they just go take the woman in that paused. Yes. Stop. I think they just go. Yes, they just fly off into a black void. There we go. Off they go. So it's kind of left hanging in the air, just like them, as to what's going on. Like I said, her race is now doomed. Of what? I don't know. But and then they end up back on the Enterprise, and everything's cool, and they just carry on. The end. It's a crap episode. I don't like it. Yeah, the Empath. You can give it a miss. I meant to wonder it was banned. I bet they banned it just because it was shit. Probably. Not a good episode. It isn't. I wonder who wrote it. That episode. I hope it's not somebody who should know better. Hang on, what we're looking at. Written by. Where are we? Oh, God, I can't find it now. Joyce Muscat. Oh, written by a woman. Figures. SNO DC Fontana's a woman. Anyway, right, next up, what's next? Lan of Troyes. Oh, crikey. I actually quite like this episode, oddly enough, but I probably won't be able to remember bugger all about it. Make sure we're still going. Yes, we are. Right. Right, Lan of Troyes. Right, they're on a mission. They've got to transport the Dolman of Elas to this other planet where she's supposed to marry somebody to stop a war. One of them sort of things. It's Helen of Troy, innit? It's that sort of thing. But she's a spoiled brat and all that stuff. I see this fella. Is this him that played like Caligula? I think it was Caligula in The Robe. I'm going to look him up now because it's got me wondering. Where were we? Elan of Troyes. Let me look him up. Does it have J. Robinson? Is that him? Openly. Yes, it is him. Yes, I thought it was. I recognised his voice. Yes, played Emperor Caligula in The Robe. And Demetrius and the Gladiators. Yes, he's got a very distinctive voice. Anyway. He's the ambassador who's to escort, the dolman of Elas. Sounds like a Yorkshire. A Yorkshireman talking to a young lady. Elas. Anyway. So they arrive, they're her bodyguards, and here she's going to beam over now, and here she is. There we go. Copper, good luck, Kirk. It's supposed to look a bit like Cleopatra or whatever, I don't know, but anyway. Anyway, she's a spoiled brat. I think Uhura's given up her quarters for her, but obviously she doesn't like them. And if you watched TNG episode, Relics, you remember Scotty complaining about saying you never heard anybody complain more. That's what we were on about. See you later, Josh. Hope you have a great day too. And by the way, congratulations on having a newish president. New to you. You know what I mean. Right, so that's what they've got to. They've got to basically put up with her. But there's other stuff going on. I think one of her guards, kills somebody or whatever. Something happens to him. He gets injured. So basically, it falls. He was supposed to teach. The ambassador was supposed to teach the Dolman of Elas. Pardon me. About the ways of the other people that she was going to become part of. But that now falls to Kirk. By the way, they're being followed by Klingons. I forgot about that. So he's got to go and teach her manners, essentially, and all that stuff. And obviously she falls in love with him. Who was that? One of her guards doing stuff. I think he's stealing the dilithium crystals, I think, from the Enterprise. Because he's in league with the Klingons or something. Anyway. There they are, look, hang on, there we go. Didn't last long, did it? There we go. Hang on, show us. There we go. They're going to start kissing. They're not just pressing faces together. Oh, hang on. Back a bit. Because she starts crying. He gives her a good slap. She slaps him and he slaps her back. And she starts crying. Not because of the slap, but she wants to be loved. And she doesn't know how to be. Because she's always horrible to people. But something in her tears. He touches her tears like that. And it like gets him under her spell, so to speak. So that's when he gives her a good old kiss. Here we go. Look, go on. See, that's not that. He didn't do that with the Hura, did he? He just went. Anyway, so obviously he's smitten with it because he can't help it. It's a chemical thing. He can't help it. But anyway, so they're stuck now. They're dead in space or whatever. Can just move at impulse or something. With the Klingons, bearing down on them. So they've got to, figure out what to do. She just mopes at him. Look, she's, I love you. I love you too. But he loves the Enterprise more, which is what it ends with. Anyway, it turns out the jewellery that she wears is dilithium, so they can use that to get the engines going and get away from the Klingons or whatever. And she goes off to do her duty and avert a war. And Bones is working on a cure for her tears to snap Kirk out of it. But by the end, we learn that he doesn't need to because he loves the Enterprise. As Spock is telling McCoy there, look, because he loves signing things and being captain. Anyway, so there we go. That's the end of that. It's all right. I don't mind. It is a good episode. She's a bit annoying, but she's supposed to be, I suppose. But there we go. I think it's another episode that isn't fondly remembered. What man doesn't love the Enterprise? Exactly. We all love the Enterprise. Anyway, moving on. What's next? Oh, it's Garth, innit? Which is weird. This episode tells us there's a cure for any sort of mental illness. Then the very final episode, they never mention that, but never mind. Anyway, right, they're going to there we go. This planet. It's probably got a name, but there's an asylum. That's what they used to call them in the old days, didn't they? A mental institution, where they're taking a cure for all mental illnesses. It's an injection that'll cure all mental illnesses. But the atmosphere is unbreathable, so and it's surrounded with a shield as well. So they've got to lower the shield so they can beam in and then raise the shield again and all that stuff. For plot points. Here we come, here the beaming, look. And they meet this is the Doctor. He seems to know Jim because he calls him Donald. Donald Corey, his name is. And he calls him Donald and he calls him Jim. So they must know each other. And he looks really familiar. And I'm going to say it again. I meant to look him up and I forgot. So I'm going to do that now. I've seen him in something else and I can't think what. Right, Donald Corey, where are you? Key Luke. Yes, that name rings a bell. Who's Key Luke? What have I seen him in? Gremlins! Of course, Gremlins, the old man, innit? It's the old man in Gremlins. Oh, of course. Anyway, he's in Star Trek as well. So next time you're watching Gremlins, you can say, oh, that old man is Donald Corey from Star Trek, Whom Gods Destroy. Anyway, right, so they've arrived with this cure. He doesn't think it'll work. But he goes and takes them to show him some of the patients. There we go. There's Marta, Yvonne Craig, who is a hell of a dancer and looks good doing it. But Batgirl in the Adam West Batman series, she say, "I'm not mad," but anyway, and he takes him to see Garth of Izar. And it turns out it's not Garth of Izar, it's Donald Corey, and somehow that Donald Corey starts laughing and then changes. But probably with the sound effect. I'm going to actually check, see if the sound effect's there. Laughing maniacally. Because the same sound effects get used over and over again. I've got to keep pausing it. Hang on, here we go. Are you ready? Sound effects. They overuse that sound effect. Anyway, this is Garth of Izar. Don't look nothing like Alec Peters, does he? Is it Alec Peters? The Axonar fella. I think he's gone a bit mad before he should have done. But anyway, he's gone crazy. I don't think it mentions Axonar in this, does it? I don't think it does. But anyway. So he's gone crazy, and he's found somewhere. Apparently, we're on a planet where they taught him how to change his molecular structure, which also means his clothes as well, apparently. So he can look like anybody, just at will, for reasons. But anyway, basically, it's the lunatics have taken over the asylum. They obviously want to escape, but obviously they can't get up to the Enterprise because. As a security measure, the only time I've ever seen it done is left, because Scott is in charge on the Enterprise, is left a code. So if he has to be beamed up, he's got to answer with the proper reply to this code. It's like Queen to Queen's 3 or whatever, something like a chess problem. So obviously, and so he turns into Captain Kirk, and contacts the Enterprise, says, "Beam me up," and they asked him that thing, and obviously he doesn't know the answer, so he says, "Oh, I'm just testing," right? So they can't beam up to the Enterprise, and obviously Kirk's not going to tell him the answer, so they're going to torture him. Gets tortured a lot this season, but she's going to dance a bit as well. She just needs a bit of poetry. She's well fit, isn't she? I must admit, it's very shapely. There she is dancing, because she's an Orion, isn't she? So she's going to dance for him. There she is, dancing away. Don't know who these are. They've got funny hats. Anyway, these are some more inmates as well. Patients, whatever. But Garth's quite, properly mental. And it actually plays a good part as the fellow that plays him. Who plays him? Just a minute. Who plays him? Where are we? Steve Inat. I've no idea what else he's been in. A Slovak-born American actor and director, but plays a really good part as Garth, because proper potty. But obviously he's trying to get Kirk to get him up to the Enterprise, but obviously Kirk's not having any of it, and it ends up being a battle of wits. He keeps trying to remind Garth of who he was, because Garth was this amazing Starfleet captain who they all admired, but now he's just this crazy person. It's quite sad. There's having his coronation because he calls himself Lord Garth, and he's trying to get Kirk to give him the code to beam up. Obviously Kirk's not having any of it, and he ends up turning into... Kirk fights himself, much like in Star Trek 6. There we go. And it's left to Spock to decide who is the right... hang on, I've gone too far. Who is the right... which is the proper Kirk. There we go. So he's saying, shoot him, Spock. And then this one says, no, shoot us both. So that's how he knows that this one is Garth. He said, no, I'm Captain Kirk. I expect him to point up. Should have had Garth as this little person, shouldn't they? And they pointed up like he did in Star Trek 6. Anyway, so he overpowers him. He stuns him with the phaser, and then they get the real Donald Corey out, and they start giving the patients the injections. They're going to be cured. He says it should happen almost right away, so they're just going to be fine after that, and then they'll release them into society. I don't know, but does Garth go back to Starfleet? I don't know, but here he is. He doesn't seem to remember anything about what's happened, but everything's lovely, and off they go on their merry way. But later on, that's in the very final episode, there's somebody with a mental illness. They never mention using this treatment on her, but we'll get to that. But yeah, it's a good episode. It's Whom Gods Destroy. Probably just because of Yvonne Craig, to be completely honest. But anyway, yeah, it's a good episode with good performances by all the characters, and I say it's I suppose a commentary on mental illness, maybe, I don't know, but it's a good one. It's a good one, and that's how we see Garth of Izar, which is just a cool name. Anyway, what's next? I don't like this one. I genuinely don't like this episode. A lot of people say, "Oh, this is the obvious reference to racism," which it is, and it's just a bit on the nose. What's that there? Oh, it's a star. It was a star. Right. Right, so the Enterprise is on its way to somewhere with medicine or whatever, but they get interrupted. They come across there's a Starfleet shuttlecraft that's been stolen from, I think they mentioned Starbase 4. I think it's been stolen from Starbase 4, this shuttlecraft. There it is. And it's adrift or whatever, so they bring it in. As you can see, it says Starbase SB4 on it. I bet they didn't even show this in the original episode, did they? I bet there were none of that. Cool. Oh, well, it says Starbase 4. Big letters on the front of it. The really long chase at the end of this was because they ran way short. You know what? I can't remember how this ends. I think I fell asleep. I did. I nodded off. And I woke up and the next episode had started. And rather than just going back and watching the end of this one, I just started watching the next episode again. So I actually can't remember how this episode ends. So it'll be an exploration. Anyway, right, so this fella appears. Well, no, it doesn't appear. Well, he does. Appears through the door. Oh, for God's sake. Here he is, a fella with white on the right hand side and black on the left hand side. There he is. He's got a name. I can't remember. Hang on, let's have a look. Hey, let's have a look. What's his name? Because I can't remember. Speaking of Batman, we get Frank Gorshin in this in a bit. Lokai is his name, and he's a political dissident from their own planet, or his home planet. But he says he's on the run and all that stuff. He's not being very cooperative, but there's an invisible ship out there, but it's not a cloaking device. It's just got some shielding on it or whatever that just makes it look invisible, but they can detect it. So what's the point of it? But the scanners know it's there. They just can't see it. But anyway, whatever. And I think it does it blow up? I think it blows up or whatever. I can't remember. Anyway, he appears as Frank Gorshin, and I keep expecting him to go and do all like his Riddler stuff from Batman, but he don't. The point is budget. Well, yeah, I suppose so. So he's arrived. You can see that he's black on the right-hand side and white on the left-hand side. It's the opposite to Lokai, which, is a plot point for later. So he's been sent after Lokai. Whatever you pronounce it. because he's as I said, a political dissident with followers and all that stuff. So he's taking him back because he's for treason and all that stuff. And he asked for asylum on the Enterprise. There's Loki. I'll call him Loki. But look, it's a battle of wills, isn't it? But obviously Kirk's not having any of it, and we learn that he's a basic, because the black on the different colours on different sides of their faces, that's their difference. So obviously it's racism. But anyway, it's a bit on the nose. But anyway, what happens here then? As I said, I fell asleep, to be completely honest, and I haven't seen this episode for ages. They get back to their own planet, and they're all dead, which has been done before in other series and shows. I think it's probably been done in Star Trek as well, hasn't it? But so, what do they do? Can't remember. So we'll just find out, shall we? Give up your hate. But obviously they can't, and they're going to go off chasing. Running through the ship. Dun 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 dun. Oh, and then we get to... Is this the long chase bits you were on about? Where I were fast asleep. It's a bit on half the nose. But which half? It's a bit like the one, isn't it, with... I can never remember the name of the episode. The one that I always forget. I think it's from season 1. With the Lazarus fella. It's just that again, isn't it, more or less? The antimatter chap. There you go. Running through the ship. He liked wearing tight spandex clothes, didn't he? Did Frank Gorshin. Anyway. So what have they done? Have they gone back? Have they beamed down? Yes, the beam. Have they beamed down to the planet, have they? There they go. Is that it? They're just going to run about on their dead world trying to catch each other. There we go. And that's it. Do the sod off. Yep. Off we go, Mr. Sulu. Warp factor, whatever. Yeah. They'll just be running round their planet, chasing each other until they die. As I said, I fell asleep. I fell asleep through this episode. I don't remember that ending at all. I've seen it before, I've seen all the Star Treks before, but it's a long time since I've watched it. But anyway, yeah, I'd give that one a miss, to be honest. Although it's a famous episode because of the race analogy. But anyway, moving on. Number 16, the Mark of Gideon. Another episode. This annoys me, this episode. If this planet's so overpopulated, why is that commission or whatever, it's got such a big room? And where did they find space to build a blooming exact replica? How did they get an exact replica of the Enterprise? Obviously, well, Federation must have given them the designs or whatever. They must have bought the Enterprise blueprints that you could buy, in real life. Did they put the bowling alley in? Anyway, so they've arrived. There we go for treaty negotiations at the planet Gideon. Why is it called that? Dunno. To do with the Bible, Gideon Bible? I don't know. But it was showing the Enterprise. Look, all the not quite busy, but bustling corridors and stuff. But anyway, right, beams down to the planet. It's supposed to beam to the commissioner, or whatever he's called, to his office, but he doesn't end up there. He ends up back on the Enterprise, or so he thinks. So he thinks he's running about. He can't find anybody. He thinks he's running about the Enterprise by himself. He doesn't understand what's going on. And the commissioner It says, we're still waiting for your captain to arrive. He says, well, we beamed him down. And so, anyway, there he is. For some reason, he reminds me of Captain Foley from Trek Yards. Anyway, he's saying, well, we'll have a look round for him. But anyway, meanwhile, Kirk finds a woman. If I can bloody land on her. Where are we? There she is. I don't know if it's just me or whatever, I don't know, but I think she's one of those beautiful women they've ever had on Enterprise. She's no Nancy Kovac, but I think she's astonishingly lovely. But anyway, turns out she's the daughter of, spoilers, she's the daughter of the commissioner. And basically, she wants Kirk to make her ill, to give her his earthly diseases, because the people on Gideon don't die. There's no diseases on Gideon, and it's overpopulated, and we keep getting little glimpses, if I can find it, when they're on the Enterprise somehow. Oh God, I think we see it on this bit actually, when they're not looking, when they're more interested in themselves. It's not going to show it, is it? Or is it that bit? Are you ready? There we go. For some reason, the view screen turns to all these people looking at them. For some reason. But I remember when I was a kid when I watched this, it creeped me out when I was a kid, did this episode. But it still annoys me. But obviously, it's giving her a good old kiss. There we go. Of course, it's Kirk. Nearly as bad as John Shepherd, isn't he? Anyway, yes, and then looks through the window there, and then suddenly there's loads of people looking in. Oh, look, what was that? And then I think they look away, and then suddenly they look back, and the stars again. There we go. So I don't know what happened there, but anyway, as I said, the upshot is, let's say she gets ill. They want Kirk to stay there and use his blood to make diseases happen on the planet, so that it'll trim the population, or they'll start dying or whatever. And Kirk says, well, stop. Basically, he says, stop shagging. Stop. That's what basically the upshot of it is. Stop having kids. And this is a contraception analogy, isn't it? Because they say no, because all life is sacred and all that stuff. So there we go. So they can't do that, so they've got to basically just kill each other with diseases. Anyway, Spock susses it out. There you go. He beams down into the other Enterprise, because they've built an exact replica of the Enterprise. For some reason, what was a bit of an elaborate, isn't it? But but then we can see he's in the commissioner's office, and you can see the people outside look bustling about because it's super overpopulated. But yet he's got this massive office with loads of space in it. It's fine. Anyway, so obviously, she volunteered to do this, and all that, and he did like her because he gave her a good old kiss. But essentially, they're just going to go now and leave them to their fate. She says, they can use my blood and all that because she's got all the diseases. So I imagine the planet will be wiped out by Christmas. But anyway, so there you go. Off they go. Look, they're all happy. Look. She's talking about his ship, but she's going to go back, and everything's lovely. But she's super attractive. I think she is. Anyway, why can't they use the ship to relocate? Well, see, why can't they just move to another planet? They know that there are other planets out there. So why just stay there and just? I don't know. It's not the most logical episode, is it? To be honest, but it's a parable in it about, let's say, life. Pro-life. That's what it is. It's a pro-life episode, isn't it? no contraception and all that stuff. Just basically got to have all the kids. Anyway, so there we go. Not the best episode. It does annoy me, the fact that it's supposed to be super overpopulated, but yet he had this massive office and they had room to build this exact duplicate of the Enterprise. Except it didn't work, But it had all the buttons and stuff and did all the noises like that, but it didn't work. But anyway, yeah, it's one you can miss. But she's worth looking at, I must admit. There she is. Anyway, what's next? That Which Survives. Is this the one we're on about with the woman that... Anyway, we'll see. Can't remember. Right. What's happening on this one? I can't bloody remember, tell you. I'm hopeless. The beaming down. Oh, aye, that's it, yes. Okay, right. Just remembered. The beaming down to this planet, and she appears... and she says, don't go, or something like that. And then she touches the transporter officer, who's obviously somebody we've never seen before, and he dies. But they're beaming down. There you go. They arrive down on the planet, and they're saying, "What happened then? Who was that woman?" But then there's an all earthquake and stuff, and and the Enterprise is rocked as well by I don't know, something. The thing that's happening on the planet. They're all knocked about, but they're okay. So they're wondering what's going on, and right. So anyway, let's get on with it. So there she is. Sulu's not in this, by the way. Is he on the planet with them? I can't remember. But there she is. That's Lieutenant Rada. And for some reason, the director just keeps showing her a lot of her reactions and stuff, and I don't know why. Maybe he's a friend. Maybe she's a friend or something. I don't know, but maybe she's a famous actress. I've no idea. She's called Nancy Pollock or something like that. Hang on, let me check. That Which Survives. Where are you? Naomi Pollock. So I don't know if she's famous, but it seems the director, whoever that is, who directed this one, Herb Wallerstein, likes showing her a lot. Naomi Pollock, American film actress. She's still alive. She's 93. Crikey, bless her. Oh, she was in the Paradise Syndrome as well. But somebody else, I think. Right, she was the second wife and took the surname of painter Reginald Pollock, who was mentioned in universe in Requiem for Methuselah, which we've got coming up. So, right. I wonder if that's why. Because she's the wife of a famous painter. Interesting. Anyway. Right, so, now then. There's Dr. Mabenga. Look, you saw him then for a minute. Right, so they're wondering what to do down on the planet, and then the woman appears. I think she appeared on the Enterprise as well. But anyway, she appears to, I forgot his name. He's a geologist. De something, I've forgotten. Got it here, haven't I? De Amato. Anyway, she appears to him, and does she kill him? Or no, she does kill him. Yes, there you go. And she says, "You are for me. I want you," or whatever. She says something like that, something along them lines. There she is. By the way, there's another Batman actress, Lee Merriweather, who was one of the Catwomen. Obviously, we had Julie Newmar, Eartha Kitt, and Lee Merriweather, didn't we? But I can't remember which one she was. Was she the Catwoman in the movie, I think, wasn't she? I don't know about the series. But anyway, there she is. Does she say something? She says something like, I need you, or something like that. And she touches him and he dies because she disrupts his cellular structure or whatever. There you go, they found him. And he's dead. So, anyway. There you go. Then she appears on the Enterprise. I think she's on the Enterprise. Yeah, she appears on the Enterprise and gets one of the engineering crew. And are we going to see her? I don't know, because she disappears in that weird way. Right, here we go. Right, like that. There you go. Which I thought was amazing when I first saw it as a kid. I thought, wow, how do they do that? Anyway. Right, so they've got to work out what's going on with her, who is she, and all that stuff. Apparently she's called, hang on, what's her name? Lucira, or something like that. Yes, Lucira. And, right, so, and Sulu shoots at her. There you go, she's after Sulu now, but obviously he won't be interested in her, will he? For reasons. So he shoots her. But obviously that doesn't do any good. There we go. Just shoots through her. And she's going to get him, but luckily Kirk saves him. So I don't know why George Takei hates William Shatner, because he saves him in this episode. There you go, off she goes again. Beep, beep. Anyway, and I think she touched him, but she didn't have a chance to finish, so Sulu kind of gets a knackered up shoulder. But apart from that, it's fine. Anyway, I think the Enterprise, by the way, have been sent 900 and something light years by whatever's on the planet. It had propelled the Enterprise. I think it was some sort of transporter. It transported the Enterprise 900 and something, just under 1,000 light years away, and they've got to get back. Which, would take a while, wouldn't it? I think it'd take like a year, wouldn't it? In TNG warp speed things, but the faff about with the engines in this, and the Enterprise ends up with like warp 13 and stuff like that, and they can't slow it down. The ship's going to blow up. It's going that fast. Meanwhile, on the planet, they're dealing with her. Scotty's got to faff with his instrument. He's got to basically reverse the polarity on his instrument, but it won't do it. So he's telling Spock, he's saying, Spock, you've got to eject me into space, else the ship will blow up. Because he's in, I don't know, he's in the nacelles or something. It's all matter, antimatter, do for what's it. But obviously, it's fine. They get sorted out and the ship slows down. They find the computer that's controlling, there we go, everything, because obviously it's another computer. And she appears again, and each time she appears she wants one person, and if somebody gets in the way she can't do anything, which is a bit stupid, isn't it? But never mind. So this is what they're doing. They're trying to stop her from getting somebody. Oh, press the wrong button. Oh, for God's sake, I'm a bloody idiot. I'm a bloody idiot. I forgot what I were on. Where are we up to? There we go, that one. I pressed the wrong bloody button. Anyway, where were we? Yes. So anyway, 3 of her appear. There we go, hang on. Oh, for God's sake, show it. Just... There we go. 3 of her appear. One for each of them. So I thought, how are we going to deal with this? But luckily, I think Spock and a security guard appear. The beam down. There we go. The beam down. And Kirk says, destroy the computer. And the security guard obviously knows that that's the computer. That's the computer. And that's just a big glowing cube. Whatever. So he shoots it and it stops glowing. And she disappears. and they're saved. I nearly pressed that bloody button again, that thing again. And then a recorded image appears. There she is, saying she's Lucira and she's the last of her race and stuff. And, they're all dead, basically. So, there you go. And the computer was there for reasons. I don't know, but it doesn't make much sense. And they bugger off, and that's it. Next episode. It's not the best. But it's alright, I suppose. Next. What's next? Lights of Zeta. This is an interesting episode, I think. But it's Scotty's in love again. I think it's this one. Right. Yes, it is. It is this one. He's in love with her because, it's Scotty. And they even say in the episode, in the voiceover or whatever, saying that a man of Scotty's age to be in love with such a young woman is a bit creepy. They don't say that, but that's what they're thinking. Oh my. Anyway, they encounter a weird thing out in space. There it is, some glowing lights out in space. Has it got cool music? Do do do. Obviously, Scotty's obsessed with her. He wants to be with her all the time, and it's kind of annoying. And Kirk does get annoyed with him in this episode because he's genuinely obsessed with her. Anyway, right. So it approaches the ship, and the shields don't deflect it or anything, and they're all like going with all these sparkly lights going on. But then the sparkly lights appear in her eyes, as you can see. There they are, sparkly lights in her eyes. Why? Don't know. She seems to have some, affinity with the aliens. Spoilers. They're non-corporeal aliens again. But anyway, right. So, off we go. Do-do-dun, do-do-dun, do-do-dun. Everybody were fine. The Enterprise is fine. But the only person that, collapsed or fainted or whatever were, I've forgotten the name. I've forgotten the bloody name of the character. Bear with me while I check. Mira Romaine. Lieutenant Mira Romaine. By the way, trivia thing about this episode, it was co-written by Shari Lewis, most famous for Lamb Chop, the puppet. Pardon me. Her and her husband wrote this episode, so that's interesting, isn't it? Well, I thought it was. Because I saw the name and I thought, is it that Shari Lewis? So I looked it up and yes, it is. Anyway, right, so everybody seems fine. She seems a bit out of it. Weird voices, well, not voices, weird sounds come out of her mouth, like croaking sounds, but distant, sound effecty sounds. Not just her going, not that, but, weird sounds. But then she's fine. So McCoy gives her some drugs, because it's McCoy. Anyway, they take her to sick bay, and obviously Scotty's there, even though Kirk ordered him, go do your job, basically. But no, he's gone to sick bay because he's smitten. She's not cooperating for some weird reason, but then later on she is. I think they just needed a scene with a bit of drama in it between the characters, so they just said, we'll just have her not cooperating with Dr. McCoy and being a bit off. But then later on she's fine. But anyway, right, so what happens next? Where are they? Yes, this is the Memory Alpha one, isn't it? Yes, I just remembered this is a Memory Alpha episode. They were heading for Memory Alpha. And on the way there, the lights thing that they encountered heads for Memory Alpha. Is it going to show it here now? The planetoid. There we go. Upon which Memory Alpha resides. So it's obviously not a very big planetoid, but big enough to be round. But anyway, whatever. And it's no shield, so there's no defense against the sparkly aliens, and everybody's dead. Everybody's dead on the on Memory Alpha. So they find them all dead, and Mira Remain had seen it in a vision. All these dead aliens. There we go. An Andorian and whatever he is, I don't know. It looks like, you know, the film Carry On Screaming, the Carry On film. It looks like one of the monsters off that, doesn't it? I forgot what they call them now. There's two of them, a big one and a little one. Anyway, and a human. They're all dead. No, nearly all dead, because there's one that's not quite dead. There she is. And she does that freaky thing that, there we go, that Mira did. She has this weird croaking sound coming out. It's kind of creepy. Kind of spooky, I must admit. But then she has all weird stuff on her face, you know, and that's there we go, some sort of, you know, top of the pops video effect. And then I think she dies. Then she's dead, Jim. Anyway, right, but they beam Mira down because she's the expert she's the expert for the episode to go to Memory Alpha because they were taking equipment there. So she's the expert of that equipment, and it's her first deep space mission. But then she says it's coming back. This is the sparkly alien thing. And they said, well, how do you know that? But then the Enterprise says, it's coming back. I said, oh, okay then. So they've got to beam out of there. There you go, that storm, it's returning. There you go. We see it on there. Look, it's coming back. So they beam out of there. See, look, it's obsessed. There's a word that I can't say because it's super rude, but it's a word that my mate taught me. And I can't say it, but it's in my head. But anyway, if my mate ever watches this, which he probably won't, he knows what I'm talking about. Anyway, look, it's obsessed. Something whipped. No, I can't say the word. Anyway, it's super rude. Right, so what they've got to do? They've got to find a way to figure out, you know, how to stop these sparkly aliens from, you know, basically killing whoever they come across next. And she's the key to it because she's somehow connected with them. And it turns out there's, I don't know, 10 or 100 or whatever. There's various alien life forces inside, and you know, the non-corporeal again. What's left of a planet, you know, they're basically ascended. I suppose they were ascended beings, I suppose. But got to find out a way to stop them doing, you know, what they're doing. And they find out that the only way to kill them is in a pressure chamber. Why? Don't know. Maybe it does explain it, but I don't know. So they get her in this pressure chamber and apply the pressure, and thankfully they don't blow up Mira Remain, but it kills the aliens, and then everything's fine, and she's got to go. There she is. Oh, they turn off the gravity as well. And that's it. Everything's lovely, and she's got to stay on Memory Alpha, probably to clean up all the bodies that's left there. and then the Enterprise, I presume they leave some other people there as well, but I'm guessing. But you know, the Enterprise sods off. There we go. For another adventure. I don't mind Lights of Zeta. It's okay. It's okay. Not the best, but anyway. Moving on. What's next? Requiem for Methuselah. I like this episode, even though not a lot happens in it, but I quite like this one. This is the one with Flint, who is like, you know, is the Count Saint Germain, I suppose, or whatever. You know, he's thousands of years old, 6,000 years old, or something like that, but we don't learn that till later. Right, they arrive at this planet. They're looking for... the Enterprise crew's ill. They've all got Regellian fever or whatever. Don't tell us how they got it, I don't think, but they're all poorly. And they've arrived at a planet where there's something called... Is it Ritalin? I think it's Ritalin. That's there naturally, so they need it to cure cue the crew. But then there we go. This robot appears, hovering. I think it's called M4. I don't think it's related to the I forgot the bloody name now. Richard Daystrom's M5. I think it is with the M5, wasn't it? This is called M4. It's nothing to do with his with the ultimate computer. Anyway, right, so here we go, right, so that appears, and it disables their phasers, and then he appears, just Flint, in his cloak, because, it's cloaks, I don't know, and he tells them to bugger off, this is my planet, you don't belong here. He said, well, instead of saying, well, can you just let us stay here for, can you we just need to gather a bit of Ritalin, because my crew's all ill, they're all going to die, I'm pleading for your mercy and all that stuff. No, Kirk just gets all belligerent and says, we need it, help us, we need it. So he does, he helps them, obviously. Anyway, so they go to his castle. Hang on, there we go. Is he going to show it? For Pete's sake. There we go, there's his castle. I wonder if, because I can't remember, if in the original version, I wonder if I've got the original version somewhere. I don't think I have. Actually, it might be on, I've got it on the HD DVD and nothing to play it on. And I think that box set has both versions. But anyway, I wonder if this matte painting in the original version, I wonder if it was that one that we saw in the cage that was supposed to be on Rigel 10 or whatever. I can't remember the name of the planet. Showed a castle-like thing on there, didn't it? I wonder if they used that again. But then they thought, for this, well, we'll do a different one. I don't know, because I can't remember. I'm just guessing. But anyway, it looks cool, doesn't it? And he's got an observatory, look there. Cool there. And a flag. I wonder what's on his flag. Anyway, right, so he takes them to his castle. There they are. And introduces himself. I am Flint. And all that stuff. Oh, right, and somebody's watching them, and it turns out it's... for God's sake, he's going to show her. Probably not. Or does it not show... Oh, there she is. Oh, for Pete's sake. There she is. Whose name, again, I can't remember. Bloody hope I was remembering names. Oh, dear. Bear with me. Raina Capek. She's watching, and this is the episode where Kirk can't forget her for some reason. I think it's this one. Anyway. Right, so anyway, he agrees. He says, I'll send M4 out. M4's this amazing robot that he's made. Basically, this episode is Forbidden Planet, or The Tempest, or whatever you want to call it. But it's more like Forbidden Planet, because it's, he's Prospero, and she's... Miranda? Is it Miranda? He's, I forgot the name of the characters in he's Walter Pidgeon, and she's Anne Francis from Forbidden Planet. And obviously M4 is Robbie the Robot, but can hover. He sent the robot out to get the Ritalin. I'm sure I've got that wrong. But anyway, whatever. And she's interested. She wants to meet the strangers, just like in Forbidden Planet. So he essentially agrees to it. At first you think, is this supposed to be his daughter? But it turns out, he says she's, his like legal ward, or her parents died and he took her in, and but he's in love with her and all that. Anyway, here comes M4 with the Ritalin in a baggie, and but it turns out it's the wrong stuff, and they've got to go back out and get it again. Because he scans it and he says it's worthless, so they've got to go out and get it again. Meanwhile, obviously she's falling for Kirk, obviously. But anyway, and they dancing with Spock's amazing piano player. Spock notices that the paintings are all original paintings by Da Vinci, but using contemporary canvases and paint and stuff. But they're all, he says they're 100% genuine. They are Da Vinci's, but modern ones. Then he's on the piano, he's playing the piano, and it's by Brahms. He says this is genuine as well, an unknown work by Brahms, but it's in his handwriting, but it's new. So obviously Flint is all these people. He's Highlander, isn't he? So to speak. Anyway, so yes, there's another bit that they took from Forbidden Planet, because he kisses, he seduces, so to speak. For God's sake, Raina. So they're having a good snog, but M4 comes in and starts stalking him, and she tells it to back off. Go. Cancel order, whatever, go away, but it's ignoring her. Much like in Forbidden Planet, where the tiger, once Anne Francis kills, once Anne Francis kisses Leslie Nielsen, the tiger attacks him and is forced to phaser it. In this one, Spock comes in and phasers M4 and saves Kirk in the nick of time. Anyway, and he's saying, I don't like the way Flint bosses her about. You need to take off. Take it. Okie dokie. See you later. Thanks for staying as long as you did. I'm nearly done now anyway. We're getting there. Only 5 episodes to go. See you later. Anywho, where were we? So he doesn't like the way he bosses her about. So, I want to take her with me and all that stuff. He's in love with her. Flint's in love with her. But then we learn later. Look, Flint's getting angry. Look, in his tights. We learn later. They get into the lab, by the way, and then they find something. Here we go. They're going to show it. They find that Raina is an android. He's going to bloody show it. They find various versions of Raina. There they are. Find various versions of Raina. Some with blonde hair, some with different coloured hair. She's an android created by Flint because he's lonely, and so there. But she's so well created that she's found emotions, and then she dies because she can't choose between them. She can't choose between Flint and Kirk, so she just dies. So Kirk's all upset, and Flint's upset. But I'll make another. It's fine. But Kirk's unhappy. Look, I wish I could forget her. Never mind, the Native American woman that he married and had a kid with, or would have. But no, Raina, we knew for like 5 minutes. He can't get over her. But Spock helps him. Here we go. Spock goes up to him and basically does a mind meld. There we go. And says, forget. There you go. Forget. So he helped him. Took away his memories, took away his pain. Just like Cyborg. I wonder if he learned that from Cyborg then. I bet he did. Because Kirk didn't need that bit of pain, did he? The loss of Raina. Flint could have just made him another one, couldn't he? And beamed it up. Anyway, there we go. I quite like that episode, though, I must admit. I do quite like it. Even though it's just Forbidden Planet. Which is maybe why I like it, because I like Forbidden Planet. But anyway, so there we go. So that's Requiem for Methuselah. Well worth a watch. Anyway, moving on. What's next? Oh, the wait. This is the Space Hippies one, which isn't as bad as I remember it being. Not as bad as it sounds, or as bad as it, whatever. The Enterprise is chasing. There we go. This. What's happening? The Enterprise is chasing this ship, which is a cool little design, I must admit. I don't know if we saw it in the original versions, but a cool little design. The Enterprise is chasing after it. Because it's been stolen. It belongs to some ambassador or whatever. And it's got his son on board, and it's a cult, a hippie cult that have stolen it, and they want to go to Eden, not Shakari. That's a different Eden, I think. This Eden's in Romulan space apparently, but anyway they're chasing after it, and it blows up, and they manage to beam them out just in time. Hang on, just bear with me. Come on, bloody hell. There we go. Managed to beam them out just in time, and I said, they're all these hippies giving it all that. And there's Charles Napier, who's been in loads of stuff, and he sings in this. I don't know if it is him singing. I don't know. Does it say? Let's check. Let's check the Wikipedia, see if it says. Way to Eden. Does he do the actual singing? Production. Yes, I think he did. He won the part by jumping onto a table and singing "The House of the Rising Sun" in front of others trying for the part. Oh dear. Right, cool. Anyway, right. So these are the space hippies. Yes, they want to get to Eden. This is some doctor. Apparently, he's a genius, or he was a genius, but there's something up with him, and he's not, he's gone potty or whatever. Why don't they use that stuff that they used on Whom Gods Destroy to cure all mental illnesses? They must have forgot about that. Anyway, they want to go to a paradise world. On the one with purple hair, we just saw then. Hang on, there we go. You're going to show him. Probably not. Him there with purple. He's the son of the ambassador who they stole the ship from. And that's probably the real reason why they're chasing after him, because it's like a diplomatic thing now. And one of them, her there, she knows Chekhov. She went to the academy with Chekhov and then she left. Anyway. So, they're telling him that we're going to go to. He's got weird ears, by the way. No Uhura. I don't think we see Uhura at all now. To the end of the season, maybe. But, she's not there. They've got this other officer. Spock kind of, I don't know, has kind of got sympathy for this group for some weird reason. Don't know why, just does. But anyway, there we go. They're singing away, and Chekhov's gone to hear Irina's voice, over the intercom. So he's gone to check, and it is her. So there we go. They put him in the brig for some reason. I can't remember why. Maybe he threatens them. I can't remember. But anyway, they end up taking over the ship, using song and dance to distract the crew. She gets information from Chekhov about the emergency control room or whatever it's called. So they can take control of the Enterprise, which is what they do. But not before singing and dancing, look, because it's the 60s. Oh dear. So anyway, they're going to... I forgot to mention that, by the way. They're all... Gary Beekler fans. See if I can find a shot. There we go. They're all Nerdrotic fans. I don't know if you can see it there. Actually, I've got it here. Look. There you go. Oh, you can't see it on there. Never mind. They're all Nerdrotic fans. It just reminded me, when I saw that, it just reminded me of, Nerd on YouTube. Check Nerdrotic. His logo is kind of like that. I know it's supposed to be an infinity sign, but it just looks like... Gary's logo. Anyway, they've taken control of the Enterprise. There's Scotty trying to get control back into the emergency control room, or whatever it's called. Because they're in Romulan space. But anyway, they've taken the shuttle. I don't know how they didn't beam down. They've taken the shuttle down to this planet. They say it's Eden. And it looks like a paradise. But Chekhov, they go after him. Chekhov touches a flower and it burns him. Everything's got loads of acid in it. So it's a deadly world. It's beautiful but deadly. There you go. And I think they find Adam. Adam's dead. Charles Napier. He'd bitten into this fruit, which looks manky, but it killed him instantly. And they find the shuttle. There it is, the Galileo, and for some reason they take everybody out of it, and I've no idea why. So they go up to it and open it up, and the rest of them, they're in there, look, and they take them out, and they carry them off, and they put them down on the ground, but they've got bare feet. All the feet are all burned because of the acid in the grass and stuff. And well, they just get in the shuttle and fly the shuttle back up to the Enterprise, but they don't. I think they beam everybody back up. Do they autopilot the shuttle back? I don't know. We don't mention it. But anyway, he's saying, no, I've got to stop here. And he runs off and he bites into a fruit and dies. And there we go. So, he's found his Eden and he'll be buried there. And the others go back with them. I think they treat him. McCoy treats their burns and stuff and look after them, and they go their own way. Look, she says goodbye to Chekhov and blah blah blah, and and everything's cool. Next adventure. It's not as bad as you think. It is quite an entertaining episode, particularly the singing bits and music. Even though it is stupid, it's not too bad. It's quite a bit of fun, must admit. But it's one of the the ones that gets the Mickey taken out of it, and then it's well deserved, I suppose. Anyway, moving on, the Cloud Minders. I don't like this episode. I never have. I don't know why. I've never liked this episode. But anyway, they're headed to this planet, which has got it's a class. This is a parable about class. The elites live in the city in the clouds, and the working classes toil in the mines. It's that one, and because of the stuff that's in the rocks that they're mining, their intelligence is lowered. Pardon me, it's all about that. So basically, there we go. And they're rebelling against the rulers up in the clouds. Does it show the cloud city? Is it going to show it? There it is. It would be. If it there it is. Didn't really improve that, did they, for the special versions, the remasters? But never mind. Oh dear. It reminds me of Flash Gordon. It does. The Vultan's Cloud City. The city of the Hawkmen. Anyway, right, so they get accosted by, the Trogs. I think they're called Trogiuses or something like that. Play on troglodytes. The people up in the city wear weird clothes. Obvious, like a state. It's like something you buy off Temu, innit, to wear in the shower. Anyway, they live the life of Riley up in the clouds, just doing art and just living lovely lives up there. And obviously the Trogs want some of that. So anyway, obviously she falls for Spock. I think she falls for Spock. Is it Spock? It will be, won't it? She falls for one of them. Oh, look, they're throwing a man out, look, because they don't like him. I'm sure I've seen her in another episode. Let me check. She looks like somebody who were in an earlier episode. Maybe in another season, I don't know. But I don't know what her name is. I've forgotten. It's either Droxine or Vanna, and I don't know. Right, let's check her then. Yes, it's her, I think. I think it's Diane Ewing. I think she's from Hawaii. Right, Star Trek. Where is she? Oh no, just this one episode. Oh, I've seen her in another episode. But obviously not. If it is her, it might not be actually. Whatever, never mind. Anyway, moving on. Obviously, Kirk's seducing her. She's one of the they don't say troglodytes. They could be somewhat along them lines. Hang on, does it say? Where have I put it? She's a disruptor. Just troglodytes. Yeah, she's a disruptor, which is, part of the rebellion. But they're up on the Cloud City now, I think. So anyway, so Kirk's having his wicked way with her because it's Kirk. She's into Spock. I think her father is Jeff Corey, who's in charge. But I think they're gonna. Kirk ends up. What the upshot of this episode is? Kirk ends up in the mines. Take him down. There we go. Got his respirator on. She takes the respirator off and makes him mine the rocks, so he'll breathe in what they've been breathing in. There we go. So he gets all angry and aggressive like them. And then he orders the Enterprise to beam him down, Jeff Corey. I don't know. I think it's Jeff Corey, isn't it? Yes, Jeff Corey. Placis is his name. In order to beam him down into the mines, and he makes Kirk makes him dig the ore as well, not the ore, the rocks. So then there we go. They start fighting, and anyway, they come to some compromise, where they'll be fine with each other from now on. Everything will be lovely. Because of Kirk fighting him. But anyway, so there we go. Moving on. I don't like that episode. I don't know why. But I just don't like it. Give that one a miss. Right. Next one, the Savage Curtain. This is a famous one because this is the one with Abraham Lincoln in. The Enterprise arrives at this planet that's all lava. It's a lava planet. Maybe where Darth Vader's got his castle, maybe. Is it Mustafar? Anyway, they're picking up signals or whatever from the planet that may be artificial, they don't know. But then, there we go, Abraham Lincoln appears on the screen. And don't know how, but he just does. They think, oh, right, it's Abraham Lincoln. Anyway, he appears on the Enterprise, or they beam him onto the Enterprise, or whatever. Yes, they do, because they do dress uniform. So they beam him onto the Enterprise, and he says, yes, I am Abraham Lincoln, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't really know why he's there, and this is the episode where he sees Uhura. Oh, so Uhura's in this, yes, so this is an episode she's in. There we go. He calls her. What does he call her? Oh, for Pete's sake, gone too far. He uses a racial slur against her, more or less. But she says, "Oh, in our time, words don't hurt us." This is the episode that a lot of these woke people will say, Star Trek's always been woke, but then she's saying words don't hurt us or anything like that. But for a lot of woke people, words are the only thing that hurt them, aren't they? But anyway, whatever. Not wanting to get political. Anyway, right, so they end up down on the planet with it's aliens that are in charge. They beam them down to the planet, and then we're going to make them fight. So there's Abraham Lincoln and Spock and Kirk, and Surak appears. There he is, Surak. If it lands on him, there he is. Surak, the father of Vulcan philosophy or whatever. And they've got to fight some other bad guys. There we go. A minute. Show us the aliens. There they go. That aliens made of rock. They kind of remind me of the. I forgot what they call them now. Hang on, I'll have to check. I forgot the name of the aliens. There's an alien Next Generation. It's not that one. Oh no, it might be. Oh yes, it is. The Shellyak. That's what it reminds me of. Remind me of the Shellyak from Ensigns of Command, TNG episode from season 3. They just do. They just do. I can't show you a picture of the Shellyak because I'm not sharing the screen. I'm just sharing this tab. Anyway, never mind. Anyway, they want to see, these humanoids fighting each other for whatever reason. Maybe they have a reason, but I'm not guessing what it is. So they're going to make them fight. They're going to tell us. Bear with me. It'll tell us when I check. Just a minute. Right, who's it going to make us fight? Colonel Philip Green, Kalis, the Klingon, chap, Genghis Khan, and Zora, whoever she is. But they're going to make them fight them for, I don't know, for reasons unbeknownst to me. There she is. Not looking well, is she? Does it explain why they want them fighting? I don't know. Does it say why they want them fighting? I don't know. They just are. If they're explaining it, they discover which is the stronger. Why do they want to know which is the stronger? I don't know why, but they just are. So they're going to make them fight. But obviously, Kirk and Spock and all them and Surak, that they're going to find a diplomatic way out of it, I suppose. And there we go. And Abraham Lincoln. And yeah, they'll have a bit of fisticuffs, but I don't think they kill anybody. And the aliens, do they have a name? Hang on. What are they? They're not the Shellyak, are they? They can't be, can they? Just says a rock-like being. Named Yarnek. Yes, they wanted to work out, which philosophy is stronger, good or evil. God knows. God knows why, but they just are. Excalbians, that's it, Excalbians, that's what they are. If Windgrace were here, he'd be telling me all this. But he's not. Anyway, so obviously they overcome, and I think they get around it without killing everybody, because that's the Federation way, and the Excalbians let them go, and so off to the next adventure. I don't know, for some reason I think I liked this episode when I was younger, but I don't know. I didn't like it watching it. I think it was yesterday I watched it. I don't know. There's something about it just annoyed me. But anyway, whatever. And I just think the Excalbian Yarnik, whatever, I think it just looked like a Shellyak. But anyway, right. Next up, All Our Yesterdays. I like this one. I like this episode. The episode that spawned a couple of books from A.C. Crispin. Yesterday's Sun. Pardon me. And Time for Yesterday. I've read Time for Yesterday. I've not read Yesterday's Sun. Anyway, we are at the planet Sarpedon, which orbits Beta Niobe, and it's about to go nova, is this sun. They beam down to a library, and they're met by Mr. Atos. There he is. You get it, library, Mr. Atos, A to Z, A-T-O-Z, sorry, A-T-O-Z. Anyway, and I think he thinks, I'm not sure, some of these are like, I don't know if they're robots or holograms, or I don't know, but one of them is the real Mr. Atos. But anyway, for some reason he's got loads of him. And he thinks they're from Sarpedon, and they're sending them, the people of Sarpedon, to escape the Nova, basically go back in time. I think if they have this technology to build these time portals, you think they'd be able to just go somewhere else, wouldn't you? To another planet. Rather than just go back in time. But anyway, that's where they've all gone. They've all gone into Sarpedon's history. And that's what he thinks they're there for. So he shows them, various these slides that they put in these machines that open the Atavachron and sends them back in time to various places in Sarpedon's history, some of which oddly resemble Earth in the, I don't know, 15th, 16th century, something, I don't bloody know. Anyway, that's where Kirk ends up, somehow. There you go, and he stops this man. They're attacking a woman who looks like an old version of Beverly Crusher, if we see her in a minute. You can just saw her there. There he has a sword fight with her. Alright, and Spock and McCoy have gone, I think it's 9,000 years into the past, to like an ice age. Where the meet. Oh, there she is. There she is. No, she looks like an old version of Beverly Crusher. Tell Jean-Luc. He'd be straight there. Anyway, somehow he can speak to, I think it's quite close to a portal. The portal where he entered, and Spock and McCoy, they're close to their portal, so they can talk to each other. And she hears this, and she thinks he's a witch, so she accuses him of being a witch. Anyway, so he gets arrested. Anyway, they're all super cold, so they've got to get to shelter, and they come across Zarabeth. Meanwhile, Kirk's been arrested. McCoy's freezing to death. Anyway, they get into a cave, look, and they find that there's all furs and things. And they come across Zarabeth. There she is. She falls in love with Spock, and in the books that follow, she bears his son, who is called Zar, who is a really good character, and I just wish they'd done him in live action. But anyway, so as I said, they fall in love, and because they've gone 9,000 years in the past, the time starts affecting Spock, and his frozen ears starts affecting Spock, and he starts becoming like a Vulcan of that time. And remember, Vulcans before Surak were violent, passionate people, even worse than the Romulans. They almost destroyed themselves, didn't they, in nuclear wars and stuff. So he starts becoming like that, starts becoming more aggressive and emotional as time goes on. And she says that they're trapped there, they can't go back, because she says the Atavachron changes you for that time period you go into, and if you go back you'll die. That's what she says. So Spock thinks they can't go back. Kirk talks to this fella, and he's a fella from Sarpedon's future, so he knows all about what's going on. But he doesn't want to help, but Kirk forces him to in the end. McCoy gets a bit better. That's where he's telling him. McCoy's arguing with Spock now, saying, what you're giving up for? Because Spock's saying, we can't get back, Doctor. And Spock says, well, I've never heard Spock give up. And Spock gets angry with him and storms out. Anyway, this fella takes Kirk back to the portal area. Says this is it, because Kirk mustn't have been able to remember. So this is where Kirk he goes back with the cool special effect. There it is. Is it going to show it? Kirk's going to walk through the wall in a ILM style special effects. Come on, bloody hell! Here he goes. Look, I think they do a sound effect as well. You ready? Oh no, they didn't. I thought they did like the harp. I thought they were going to do that sound effect, but they don't. Why are the oars there? It must be by the sea or a river. Anyway, so he's got back. And for some reason, Gary Seven's computer's there. I think it's Gary Seven's computer, isn't it? Looks like it. Finds Mr. Atos. Mr. Atos keeps saying, you've got to go, because the sun's about to blow up. Kirk fights him, and then the real Mr. Atos appears. I think Kirk forces him to go through the slides that McCoy and McCoy and Spock looked at. They're about to get down and dirty. By the way, she was sent back, not to escape the... because they also used it as a form of punishment, the Atavachron. Sent people, back in time as punishments. She was sent back as a punishment to live in this icy wasteland. Anyway, so her and Spock are gonna, do the deed. There we go. Because obviously, as I said, she has his son in them books. There is fighting. He gets through to, I think, gets through to the Enterprise there. Because they wanted to beam him out, because the sun's about to go nova. And Kirk's saying, no, just wait, I've got to get through to Spock and McCoy. And eventually he does. Not before a bit of shenanigans goes on, but they go out. I think Spock gets through, McCoy gets through to Spock, telling him, I think it says, you're turning into an old world Vulcan. Anyway, they go out, trying to find where they came in. There you go. And what are you doing? There we go. And there you go. And they hear Kirk calling to them, and they come through. They find the portal. And he says goodbye to Zarabeth. There's the Spock. Oh, I've got to mute it. Says goodbye to Zarabeth. There we go. So anyway, they get on board. Mr. Atos finds a slide or whatever, puts it in the thing, and he goes somewhere in the past. I don't know where. But they get go back up to the Enterprise. Oh, there we go. And there we go. And the Enterprise leaves, doesn't warp away, just lazily glides into frame as Niobe becomes a nebula. Well, and we see Sarpedon get destroyed. Are you ready? To watch Sarpedon get destroyed. There it goes. Gone. Just like what happened in Star Trek Generations. Anyway, so there we go. I like All Our Yesterdays. That was one of my favourite episodes, I must admit. Oddly enough, I was saying earlier on, I don't like episodes where they get stranded. That's kind of a stranded episode, but I do like it. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I've read the book that follows on after it. Maybe that's why I like it. Anyway, so there we go. So that's All Yesterdays. Right, final episode of the 79 Turnabout Intruder. It's not the best episode. It doesn't show Starfleet in a good light, really. Anyway, right. So the Enterprise arrived at this planet where an old flame of Kirk's, whose name I've forgotten. So just bear with me. Because I'm an idiot. Janice Lester. Dr. Janice Lester is ill. There she is. She's ill. And she hates Kirk. I think maybe they'd had a relationship at one point. But now she hates him because he became a Starfleet captain. And they don't allow women to become Starfleet captains. Obviously something changed between Star Trek Discovery and this. Because we saw several women Starfleet captains in Star Trek Discovery, didn't we? And that happened before this. That's what happens when, your writers don't know. Don't do the research. But anyway, whatever. Anyway, I think she's just pretending to be ill. By the way, she's there with an assistant who loves her. Anyway, Kirk's talking to her. But she's got a machine of there for whatever, and was it there already? Dunno, probably. Anyway, it can make him transfer her consciousness into his body. Hang on, there we go. Probably cool sound effects. So now Janice Lester's in Kirk's body and Kirk is in her body now. So there we go. Right, so the upshot of this episode is she wants to become a Starfleet captain in Kirk's body. And Kirk, who is in Janice Lester's body, which has got something wrong with it, but McCoy sorts her out, is beamed aboard the Enterprise, and Kirk, got to, when he comes round, or when she comes round, the Kirk has got to persuade the others that he's not Janice Lester and all that stuff. This is her friend. I forgot his bloody name. Dr. Arthur Coleman, and he's in love with Janice, but for some reason he's all fine with her being a man. I don't think he is, but he's going along with it for the time being, even though he loves her. Anyway, right, so the crew obviously noticed the change in Kirk's behaviour because Janet Lester's, she's, essentially insane and, super emotional. So Kirk's blowing up at everything, and he ends up having a tribunal, a court martial for Spock because Spock, tries to do a mutiny, so to speak. Tries to take command, so he does a tribunal against Spock, and then Scotty accuses Scotty and McCoy of being mutinous and orders their execution. So obviously the rest of the crew stop obeying Kirk because it's not Kirk, obviously. So anyway, the switch body's back. Because he's not acting like Kirk, they don't take orders from him, and everything's sorted out, and they put Janice back in her body, and he says he'll look after her, and they don't mention that they could just give her an injection and cure her, like they did in Whom Gods Destroy. But there's a lot of the famous Kirk overacting look in this. And there's the jazz hands earlier on, but I don't know where it was. Where was it? See if I can find the jazz hands meme. Where is it? He falls back. He's on the bridge and he falls back into his chair. Where are we? Pete's sake. It might have been later on. Whatever. When the crew starts realising he's lost the plot. I think it's this bit. In a minute. Uhura. Got Barbara Windsor instead. I know it ain't her, but it just looks like it. There he goes, telling them, you'll be charged with mutiny. There we go. Good old Bill Shatner overacting. There we go, jazz hands. It's ace. Anyway, like I said, they swap them back again. They take them back down to the planet and swap them, or whatever. Or is he just remembering? Yeah, they swap back. And he says he's going to look after her because he loves her. And thank goodness for that. It might have been awkward if they couldn't swap them back. But anyway, so off they go. And off they go the merry way. But that... what happened then? What happened? Go back. So that was the end of Star Trek Season 3. The end of the live-action, the original series. Good episodes. Good episodes in Season 3. I think Season 3 is underrated. I think it is. So anyway, stop that screen. Yeah, I think Season 3 is underrated. Some great episodes in there. Thorley and Webb and all them. And Requiem for Methuselah. I think some really good episodes in there. Right, so we'll leave it there. Next week we'll be doing the animated series. And there's some surprisingly good episodes in there. There's some not good episodes and some terrible voice acting. Usually from James Doohan, to be completely honest. And Uhura just going all the time. Not Uhura, Nichelle Nichols. But anyway, that's to come next week, the animated series, and then we're on proper Star Trek after that. Then we're on Next Generation the week after that. But next week it's the animated series. Right, we'll leave it there. We're all done and dusted for another week. Right, so thanks for watching, wherever you are. Live long and prosper. Hang on, I haven't got myself sorted. I'm hopeless. Live long and prosper. But before we go, don't forget to like and subscribe and share and drop a comment and all that stuff. And be nice. And explore the description for merch, such as this, and Patreon and all that stuff. And Remembrance Sunday's coming up in the UK, 11th of November. That's where I've got my poppy on. In case you were wondering. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching, wherever you are. Live long and prosper, and until next time, I'll say there.